Gotta show him I can still rap though.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. Run it up. First it with the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the bag like here I go again. Outside says the chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma make, keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8 day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. My city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my family way out. With some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon. I been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me. I don't need you, boo, I style me. I roll G's and they grind me. Now I'm on my game, nothing is the same. Who am I to blame? Money made me change. Cardi in my ring when I'm switching lanes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Now I got a buck for all those rainy days. Ain't have a day off in like 80 days. I got hustles in like 80 ways. Kids if he won't take a lazy day. Wifey on me told me take a break. I keep going to the paper straight. Then it's trips out to Montego Bay. If I take the job, bet I'll get it done. I said it before, I'm a one-on-one. I just caught some ones, only wearing ones. Fornicate the funds, money made me calm. Diamonds on your neck, bet they on your neck. You want that watch, you better rock a tech. You want that chain, you better cop a vest. You want that check, but can you make it stretch? Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car cards to get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault. I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up.
Gotta show him I can still rap though.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. Run it up. First it with the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the bag like here I go again. Outside says the chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma make, keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8 day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. My city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my family way out. With some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon. I been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me. I don't need you, boo, I style me. I roll G's and they grind me. Now I'm on my game, nothing is the same. Who am I to blame? Money made me change. Cardi in my ring when I'm switching lanes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Now I got a buck for all those rainy days. Ain't have a day off in like 80 days. I got hustles in like 80 ways. Kids if he won't take a lazy day. Wifey on me told me take a break. I keep going to the paper straight. Then it's trips out to Montego Bay. If I take the job, bet I get it done. I said it before, I'm a 101. I just caught some ones, only wearing ones. Fornicate the funds, money made me come. Diamonds on your neck, bet they on your neck. You want that watch, you better rock it tech. You want that chain, you better cop a vest. You want the check, but can you make it stretch? Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car till you tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault. I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you in the air, pure gasoline. I see the news, see what you read. Change gotta come, put that on me and watch me educate. Yeah, we been could've started, but it's never late. Do it for my kids, yeah, let's set it straight. Do it for your kids, gotta set it straight. It's time to regulate. We need change now. We need solar, we need EV in the game now. Make it changes so the earth we know can stay around. Make it change cause we had no time for playing around. Let's quit the playing around. First rule to me, let's keep it clean. Watch how we build, clean air we need. Start from the flow, sweep up the scene. We going green, work as a team. First rule to me, let's keep it clean. Watch how we build, clean air we need. Start from the flow, sweep up the scene. We going green, we going green.
I have not been able to. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't like popped up for me yet. So I'm just kind of like, okay, when that does, because
Well, you said you came out of
used to
the
PC.
preview program a while ago because it was doing stuff to your system.
No, I
or
got out of the
something.
preview program on PC, not on
okay.
Xbox. Yeah, I'm
Well,
still
guys, I just want to say shout out to the chat. What is going on, people? It is Thursday night. It is prime time, and you know what that means. That is right. You are
Fuck this
here.
shit, I'm out.
Next podcast is live, and man, am I excited for tonight. So, yo, what a crazy ass week it has been. So much news coming out. People finally getting to hear maybe closer to what Sony thinks about the whole Activision Blizzard kind of acquisition. What they think and feel about Game Pass. We're gonna get into that, guys, no doubt. So while we're going in here and getting into the intros, you guys know what to do. You got to hit that thumbs up. You got to share the show out. Whatever social media, wherever you go to talk games, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, wherever you go, let them know that we are live right now and we are about to get in on these topics. So shout out to Dragonheart Yobi. I don't know what you want. If you want a link for the Discord, I am gonna put it up in a few minutes. So let me get the show started, get people talking, stuff like that, and then I will put the link to the Discord in the chat. What is up? Y9 Power, dude? It is so good to see you, man. It has been a while, but yeah, guys, definitely share this out. I'm going to get into the intros, and I have a special guest for a limited time as well. So, you know what? Let me start with him, man. Some people might know him as the albino rhino. I look at him as a longtime friend when it comes to Facebook, when it comes to YouTube. Absolutely love, his thoughts and opinions and his knowledge, the history of gaming that this man knows. I swear, he can fill up at least 3 servers, no problem, no problem. But the crap gamer is here tonight. What is up, bro?
Yeah. Hey, what's going on? It's good to be here at least for a little while. And yeah, like when you're old, I guess you know that knowledge. Just like because I lived through a lot of it. So as long back as I can remember, especially the last 20 years or so, have been just like gaming filled. I like ever since I waited in line to pick up a Dreamcast. 99.99. It's been kind of crazy to do that. Although that wasn't the first console that I bought myself. The first one that I bought was slightly before that. I picked up a Nintendo 64 slightly before that because it was on sales. Like they had like the Pod Racer one or whatever. So I picked that one up. I think it was slightly before, a couple months before I got the Dreamcast. But once I saw NFL 2K, and all that kind of stuff, I was there, man. I had to get me a Dreamcast, and
You heard that, K-Mega. NFL 2K, brother. You heard that, right?
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, look, 2K did it right, and then all the way up to 2K5, selling those sports games for $20. I mean, that's awesome as far as I'm concerned.
crap. What gets me about you, man? Like you remember, like you talked about quote unquote being old, but the stuff that you actually remember, like it's absolutely insane, man. Down to like dates and stuff like that. I have no idea how you do it, brother. I really don't, man, because
Yeah.
I'm into games and I really don't. I didn't absorb it the way you have, man. But it is good to have you on. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of, I guess you could say, controversial things. Of course, social media is up in arms. People are going crazy out there over a couple things that Sony said. So we're gonna get into it. I do want to introduce the rest of the crew here, and I'm gonna start with the man right here. He is with us tonight. He did jump in last week, but I told him, man, you just gotta sit down and chill. He had major surgery, but he still wanted to be here for you guys. He is here tonight for the entire show. You guys might know he is the man who did the motion capture for the original character in Pitfall on Atari. It is Sir X Man. What is up, bro?
Wow, thanks for making me feel old again.
Dude, you talk about like how many systems you
Dude,
played
I
in your
was
life
there when it all
the time.
started, man. And I could not get enough of it, man. 1977 and 1978 were good years for gaming to come.
You're
I
only
was
saying
there.
that
I
because
enjoyed
I
it.
was born in '79, so you thought it was great. The 2 years before I was born and the year before, man.
Oh,
I
your
see what's
mama
going
put them palm paddles in your hand and you was just happy to be doing something.
on.
You thought it was a rattle and you was
Oh,
chewing it.
shit.
But
Well,
nah,
Sir X Man,
age,
I
with
gotta
age comes knowledge, bro.
I gotta say, man, you sound so much better. I am so happy that everything is working out with the surgery, all that good stuff. You are definitely sounding like more like yourself. You can hear that life and that energy in your voice, man. And I'm happy that you're on this week, and I'm happy you kind of listened to me last week, man, because I don't know, I wasn't sure. I was
Hey,
like,
Spot, does anybody really listen to you?
dude,
Be
I
honest.
try. I, I don't know why. Even when I prove myself right, time and time again, people still decide they're not going to listen to me, man. But yeah, Sir X Man, it is great having you back on.
Thank you very much. Everybody, hello, how you doing? Let's have some fun. Let's
oh,
talk some stuff.
we are going to have some fun. We are definitely going to have some fun tonight.
I've been
And
saving myself for today for your show. Oh,
Not-
yeah, because
not-
I knew what it was going to be about.
Wow. And speaking of saving yourself and having fun, we have the next podcast exclusive coming up next. Not only that, but you might know him for his incredibly popular OnlyFans page. Yeah, you guys got to sub over there. Got to start handing that money over because it is Predator H2O. What is up, Pred?
All right. First of all, just so we could be clear, I don't have an OnlyFans. This is a mess.
Dude, I wonder how many
So
people actually search for it, though.
It's not under Predator. That's why he don't have it there.
It's an alias. You guys got to
How do you
figure it
know
out. You guys got to figure it
I have
out.
it saved under Crap Gamer. What's up? He's like muted. Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, man. Nothing going on, man. Just not gaming. Go ahead, Crap.
If I do one, man, it'll be with feet. I'll like squish stuff with my feet, man.
No!
I'm glad you thought this far into it.
Hey, Fred,
it'll be great.
Wine, right? That's how you make wine.
I am done.
If people want to see that show, man, I don't know. They gotta be twisted in the head. I don't know.
Yeah, for real.
It'd be-
You'd be surprised. Some people got some
People
weird
buy their
fetishes.
bath water.
I know.
Dude, why did I lose half of the active viewers right now? That was weird. I
They went to look up Crap's OnlyFans. That's why.
Right. They want to see them little feet.
I'm seeing feet and watermelon.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
he's got five. His feet is
And
only
mayonnaise.
five. He only got he wears a five. Wears a 5 in a shoe.
Yo, where's
so
Lady
the little feet
Foxfire
over there
at? We
squishy.
had a crap
That's
reference
interesting.
with mayonnaise. Where is Lady Foxfire? I have no idea.
Oh my god.
Let me see them. No. Stop.
Look, give it to Luca.
Oh, man.
All right, Pred. Well,
All right, move on.
Yeah, no, dude, I can't wait to get into it. But next on the list, coming live from the 405, and I guess you can now call him the king of the soundboard, because anywhere you go where he's live, you can even be in an Xbox Live party, and he has it with him. Of course, it is K Mega 405. What is up, bro?
Man, people keep requesting the damn thing, so I'm just like, okay, here comes the
Doom Slayer.
I am here. Anyway, so let's go ahead and do this. Man, I'm excited. I'm about to tee off, so I've been saving myself as well. I did a video earlier this week talking about it, and then of course looking at the crazy scrum, but in those spaces, Lord have mercy, it is a mess out there. But yeah, we're gonna have some fun, man. Get to talk about it. Let's knock out these topics.
Yeah, definitely. And usually we kind of do warm up topics and everything like that. But my brother Crap, we only got him for a limited time. That family life always calling. Trust me, I know how it is, brother. So we are gonna get straight into it. So while we're doing that, guys, definitely hit that thumbs up button. Shout out to Andrew Wilkins. What is going on? The self-proclaimed #1 sub to this channel, Percolator, is here. What is up? And of course, RG Viper X. What is up, bro? It is good to see you guys. All you guys. Thank you for hanging out with us. And we are about to go in because just this week, it's been crazy. It's been crazy ever since, Microsoft announced that they're looking to acquire Activision Blizzard, and of course with Activision, the kind of like the shining jewel in that crown for a lot of people in terms of popularity, in terms of games sold per year, is the Call of Duty franchise, and really kind of shook up the gaming community, the gaming industry, gaming news. It was just one of those announcements that was just absolutely incredible. And you have fans of each platform kind of bickering back and forth over what this means for the industry, what this means for the gamers. Of course, with Xbox, Game Pass, Xbox did come out and say games like Call of Duty will remain multi-platform, which I thought was a no-brainer. If you want to make that money and keep that popularity, definitely keep it multi-platform. But we never really knew what other companies in the industry were thinking about that until this whole acquisition went over to Brazil's Federal Trade Commission. Now, the way it is in Brazil, everything is just a lot more wide open there. So when they go and they talk business and stuff. They put it out there. They put it out what companies are saying, and there was a thread on Reddit that really put out basically everything that these companies were saying, including Sony. Sony chimed in on what they felt this acquisition would mean if it got passed, and I'm looking at this now. They really wanted to focus on Call of Duty with this, so they says the importance of Call of Duty to entertain in general is indescribable. The brand was the only video game IP to break into the top 10 of all entertainment brands among fans, joining powerhouses like Star Wars, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. Call of Duty is so popular that it influences users' choice of console, and its community of loyal users is entrenched enough that even if a competitor has the budget to develop a similar product, it would not be able to rival it. Basically stating that Call of Duty is such a huge IP and such a huge thing within gaming and entertainment that they seem a little anxious about this acquisition. And you know, I'm going to start with Predator on this one. Crap, I am going to get to you. Crap, I am going to get to you, but I want to start with Pred on this first. So, Predator, I see you. I think you've gotten caught up with the news and everything and what Sony is here. People are saying that Sony is scared with the stuff that they're saying about this acquisition. What do you feel is going on with Sony here? Because I feel like a part of it is, yeah, they're definitely gonna lose some money in the long run because they definitely hung their hat on Call of Duty as the first person shooter. I think they kind of gave up on making their own first party kind of FPS type situation. But how much? What do you think they're doing here? Do you think they're this is all genuine? Do you think this is some type of business play? What is your thoughts and opinions here on what Sony is trying to say about Call of Duty with this whole Xbox acquisition?
I mean, I just kind of read this right before the show started. I'm kind of like with you. Like Call of Duty was like a big game for them. Like it's a big system seller for them. In previous years, I mean, I don't know if people are going to gravitate to Xbox for Call of Duty like that. Like if you've already got, a PlayStation, the game's going to be on both systems. You know what I'm saying? So I think for like marketing purposes going forward, that might be a big thing because Call of Duty is one of the biggest games. I mean, like even though we talk shit about it every year, like
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
don't
buying
play
it,
it.
I'm not playing it, and like but everyone else does. So everyone else does. So and as I talk shit, I still end up playing it at some point in time anyway. So like you take that game and you put it in Game Pass for the Xbox people. And Sony players are spending $70 for it. I mean, that's a slap in the face. You know what I'm saying? So like for a franchise, they've basically been able to have a stranglehold on for the past 10 years almost. So I mean, I can see their concern, but that's just going to force them to have to do something else. Maybe something with Destiny. Since they have the rights to that, maybe they finally decide they're going to make their own first-person shooter. Like at some point, Sony has to come out with a multiplayer shooter. Something on their own, like their own in-house studios or something. And I get that they've made some great single-player games, but gaming isn't just focused on that. And I think Sony's been able. It's not just focused on the single-player. Like I know we joke about this, a single-player, third-person over the shoulder. Like it's not just focused on that. So like everybody games differently, and you see the biggest games that are out there, the ones that people are playing mostly are multiplayer games that are multi-plat at that too. So the Call of Duties, the Fortnites, the Overwatches. Those are the ones that like people are consistently staying engaged in, and that's what we're talking about, user engagement nowadays, right? So like that are making money not just because of the sell of the game, because of the stuff that happens after the game is created. The microtransactions, that sort of thing, and Sony doesn't have that built yet within their system and the ecosystem. So they'll get there at some point because they're going to have to, because that's the way the industry is going. But for them to lose a Call of Duty and the threat of it not even coming to their console, which I seriously don't think that's going to happen. That I really don't. But just that threat alone makes them have to start thinking about, okay, what if we don't get this on our console in 2024, or whenever the hell that's going to happen? Like, who knows? But like, they have to plan for that. So I consider that to be a serious concern of theirs. I mean, and that not just if that was happening on the, if Xbox had lost something like that, that would be a concern of theirs too. That's just the business thinking. Like, okay, how are we going to fill this void? Because that's like a huge hit every year, and if now it's not on our console, or the thought of our customers having to pay $70 for it, and it's on our competition's console on a service, that comes included, so like they have to think that way. I think they're right for thinking like that. I just don't know how far. Again, Microsoft kind of plays nice with games like this, and they allow it on every console. So I still think it's gonna come on Sony, but I just don't know. I mean, I still think Sony's gonna get the game. I just I would if I have both consoles, right? Where do you think I want to play that game at? I'm gonna play on Xbox because I have it. I'm gonna get it on PC, and I'm gonna get it on my Xbox, and it comes included with my service. But like, if I only got one console and I got to spend $70 on it, or maybe 60, who knows when that happens. But like, I mean, but for me as a multi-console owner, I'm like, it's a no-brainer. I'm gonna get it on my Xbox because I've already paid for the service I'm getting it on. So there are some people out there that are gonna buy the game just because they want to buy it, but the majority of us, when the economy is fucking shit right now, I'm not spending $60 on the game. It's gonna already be there for me. I can just get it with my service I'm already paying for it.
Now, Pred, I gotta ask you something about this, because there are many layers to this whole thing, and there are people out there kind of like on social media shunning Microsoft and talking about a huge conglomerate like gobbling up IPs and stuff like that. I gotta ask you, with Sony here basically looking like they're pretty much, and I say this for lack of a better term, PlayStation fans out there, trust me, I'm not really trying to dig in on this, but they seems like they're whining out there about this acquisition. But when you see them kind of like over the years, when it came to Street Fighter, which is pretty much one of the most popular fighting games out there, and you see them strategically grabbing either timed exclusivity that they keep kind of paying for to lengthen, or they get like these multi-plat games as exclusive to their console. But yet they're complaining about this. Does it seem a little hypocritical that they're out there and they kind of like put like pigtails in their hair? We're just a little innocent, and I don't know what we're gonna do without this franchise and stuff. Does it seem a little like hypocritical how Sony is approaching this, bro?
It is, and it's like I don't hear anyone complain about Tencent gobbling up everything.
Ooh, that's a great point.
Like, even though they're not buying the companies outright, they're buying
they're
the
about to
majority
grab
share.
Ubisoft, like the majority stock in Ubisoft, and be able to like dictate what Ubisoft does.
I think the only reason no one mentions Tencent is because they don't have a fucking console, right? But if they ever did, if they ever got a console and decided to get into this race, or maybe merge with Amazon or something like that, they'd be a huge, they could lock down some shit too. So but we're not there yet. Thank God. Tencent's like, we're just gonna stick with just buying shares and shit and owning that half of it. But
I heard
I don't see those complaints.
Planning a streaming service.
I mean,
yes, they are.
If they don't have to have a console that way. If the streaming systems work, and I hate to change the subject, but I know what your question was, but like, if Tencent's going to do something like that and it actually works, and they decide to lock things down with what they own, and again, I don't know off the top of my head everything Tencent has their foothold in, but it's a lot of shit. So, especially if they grab a Ubisoft or something like that, they have a lot of companies that they're working with right now in the gaming industry that they've purchased or whatever. So they could easily do that, but no one talks about that, right? For the Sony guys out there that are complaining about it, keep in mind, this is a competition. It's business. Because when Microsoft, I remember the first time I heard this shit was when Microsoft got Tomb Raider years ago,
Oh
and it was
my
even though it was a
goodness,
time
that
exclusive.
was people would not let that shit go.
Yeah, death threats and shit like that, and like I mean, like they wouldn't let it go, and because the thing was, no one was transparent about it being a timed exclusive at the time. It was just like they just thought it was only coming to Xbox, and that ended up not being the truth. But and I think if companies were a little bit more transparent with that, there wouldn't be so much. Like if I knew a game I really wanted was going to be on Sony for a year, I could just wait a year. But I think in the past, people were like, "Oh my God, we're never going to play this game. I'm not getting an Xbox to play this game. Fuck that." And then when everything kind of came out of the wash, it came out of PlayStation anyway. Everybody's fine. But like, but the pitchforks and fires that everybody's lighting right now, like, I mean, there's an option. You can just buy another system. So it sucks that if you really wanted that play that game that bad, I got my PlayStation 5 a couple of weeks ago because I wanted to play God of War. Last generation, when I wanted to play God of War, guess what I did? I would have got a fucking PlayStation 4. I'm not saying everybody's rich, everybody got fucking money like that, but the game's coming out. Save up for this shit and get it when it comes out if you really want to get a game for a system. So there's an option for you. You just have to fucking suck it up and deal with it. Cry if you want. I mean, that's fine, but I mean, it's not gonna do anything with these companies. They don't give a fuck about your salty tears. So
damn,
be mad.
Damn, bro.
And that goes for both people. That goes for both sides, like Xbox guys and PlayStation guys. If you see something you like and you really want it bad enough, then go buy the console to play it on. If you can find one.
I'm gonna throw it out there. Like I believe there is definitely some genuine concern here because at the end of the day, Sony, they have multiple divisions, but the backbone of that corporation is PlayStation, and they want to make sure that they keep as much revenue flowing in through PlayStation as possible. They've had the marketing rights when it comes to Call of Duty. Again, they've hung their hat on Call of Duty as kind of like that system's first person shooter. Even though it's multi-plat, we saw it back in the 360 era when Call of Duty was multi-plat, but it was more known for Xbox. The DLC and everything came out first on Xbox. It was more known as kind of like almost like an Xbox game. So I can see where they're coming from in terms of that. I don't see them believing that Call of Duty would necessarily come off of their platform. To me, it's a no-brainer to keep it multi-plat, to keep that revenue flowing in, and to really bolster Game Pass because that's where Xbox is. They're really focusing on that service and trying to get everybody in there. Speaking of getting everybody in there, let's get Crap Gamer involved here now. Crap, I know you've seen everything that's going on. You see what Sony has said, and we're sticking to about Call of Duty and Activision right now. We're gonna go on to Game Pass in kind of like the next topic. So, what are your thoughts about kind of like what Sony is saying here to the Brazilian Federal Trade Commission? Do you think it's all like genuine like concern? They are really kind of nervous about this, or what are your thoughts, bro?
I think they're concerned. I mean, even though Microsoft already said that it's going to be multi-plat, I still think the idea that this game's going to be in Game Pass day one at some point is a huge concern for Sony because it's a game that so many people get, but also it's a game that a lot of casuals get. So I think it might start to look very attractive to pick up a Series S. 250, whatever, and then some Game Pass, and you can play a game instead of picking up a PS5 for 500 and the game for 70, 80 bucks. Ooh. I think that it looks very attractive to a large contingent of people. Also, I have to say, like, I have a lot of friends that I used to play Call of Duty with, like we would play competitively years and years ago, but they don't want to spend the money. And I know that people are going to go, oh, well, that's what Game Pass has done. No, it's not anything to do with that. They just get tired of spending money on Call of Duty after buying 14 years in a row or whatever. And so I couldn't talk, like I bought Vanguard, I got Vanguard, but it's like, and it's a very good game for Call of Duty. I feel like it plays good, but I couldn't talk any of my friends into getting it. So I think but they're all Game Pass subscribers. So when Call of Duty they'll try it, and they'll play it if it's in Game Pass. So I think that that's going to be great to get even more people on it. I think also if you put the older games into Game Pass, it's going to reinvigorate the amount of people playing those games as well. Because sometimes I'll just hop on like Call of Duty 4 Remastered or whatever, and there's usually people there, but not like a ton. So I could see they're getting a bump from that as well, like playing some of the older ones, which is something that I like to do as well. Because I'm a Call of Duty guy, every single one of them since Call of Duty 3. Right, I bought Call of Duty 3. I think I got that on something, and then once Call of Duty 2 came out as a launch title on the Xbox 360, I got that, and then I think 2007 was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, and then that's when like things really took off was with that game, and then like every year, and then most years, I get it on both, so I always get it on Xbox first, but I always had people that play with on PlayStation as well, so I get it on both. I like to play through the campaigns. I'm probably weird like that, they're like blockbuster movies to me, you put 4, 5, 6 hours. Fun little campaign, explosions, and cool little story, and get a handle on the weapons and stuff like that. And I just enjoy that. So I think that they're probably worried about a game that is usually the top seller every single year, possibly going into and people buying that and spending all that money each year on PlayStation, possibly going over and buying an Xbox. So I can see the worry there. I don't think it like means the end of PlayStation or anything like that, but it definitely, you could see a couple million people easy do something like that, right? It wouldn't be, it wouldn't be out of the order. It wouldn't be like something unfathomable. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I believe that it would be something that you could possibly see. Well, look, Xbox, like right now, it's easy to look at Game Pass and go, it's okay. Like Game Pass is having a kind of a so-so year this year, in my opinion. I mean, I played Road 96 and enjoyed that. I saw who somebody was playing that on the feed earlier. Xbox, like I beat that game. I got 1,000 out of 1,000 gamer score on that. There's just something about that game.
Bro? Easy gamer
yeah,
score?
it was pretty easy. But it was just something that I wanted to I played it over a weekend and beat it. Something just kept me going back to play. It was the same thing with As Dusk Falls, right? I wish that was gameplay like Detroit Become Human, but the story itself and the choices and stuff were awesome, right? Like I wish it was more than like a storybook type of situation where you make choices, but the game itself, the actual story and stuff like that, and the voice acting and was awesome. Like I beat that in one day. There's stuff like that really is intriguing. So I think Game Pass has had an okay year, but imagine when it's Call of Duty dropping every year on it. You know what I mean? Like Diablo's coming to it, and Halo keeps coming to it. Gears of War and Doom and Wolfenstein and all this stuff.
That first party drops as well. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, exactly. Because I know people like to make fun or whatever, but it's like, look, Lord of the Rings Gollum got delayed. Like I cut Microsoft a little bit of slack. Yes, they've dropped the ball with some studios and stuff, but they're about to have 35 studios once Activision goes through. Games are going to get made and they're going to get put out. They're not the only ones that are delaying games. Everybody is. You can't get away with doing the whole, that whole thing where people are working themselves to death. You can't do that anymore. Right, like no company's going to do that. Sony Santa Monica didn't do that. God of War Ragnarok, right? They even said it. Hey, we had to delay it. Mental health, all this kind of stuff. Like you can't do that crunch stuff anymore. So games, unfortunately, are going to take a little bit longer. But I guess it's going to be better in the long run for developers because you can imagine like the bad press if you do crunch anymore, right? They're like, oh my god, I had to work 42 and a half hours this week. Jeez.
I know, like, come on.
but yeah, like we get that, but if they say that and Jason Schreier's waiting in the bushes, like, oh man, did somebody say crunch? What'd they do to you? Like that's what happens.
Jason Schreier will go check out the concrete business
dude, any kind of business or work, man. It's like shit, man, I've worked, like, I can remember some E3 weeks just doing podcasts and stuff, put in, 40, 50, 60 hours on them shows, you know what I mean? Like, doing
E3 weeks, brother. Oh, my goodness.
Bounce around and kind of do everybody's show and just, it's just like an all-day thing, and then the next day and the next day and then everybody's show. So, yeah, but I think Sony's genuinely probably concerned because that's such a value. Like, I remember when Game Pass was first announced and then they announced the first party stuff would all go to it. There's still people on Twitter right now that don't believe Call of Duty will ever go day one into Game Pass. And I'm like, that makes no sense. the entire reason, I mean, aside from picking up King, which I think was like a big reason as well, but is to enhance Game Pass, right? They're all in on Game Pass. You want to offer as much as you possibly can, even if that game's not exclusive. The fact that you're offering it into their service day one, I think, is going to be just as big as a reason as it was exclusive, right? Like,
Dude, I
like
think
I mean,
that's
look
the
at that.
plan. Like, when it comes to such a big game like Call of Duty, like if I was running Xbox, I would keep it on PlayStation, get all that revenue
For
as well.
sure.
But I
Look,
will
I'd-
market
I'd
the
have that-
shit out of it when it comes to Game Pass.
I would have it on the Switch. I would have it everywhere as well. People are still gonna buy it, right? Like people, like there's a lot of people that are still gonna buy it. A lot of people don't even know about something like Game Pass, so you're gonna sell a crap load of it on PlayStation. Hey, put it on the Switch. How many Switches are out there? I mean, they don't have anything like this. They could sell like this. This has the potential to do tons on the Switch as well. Like if I'm Microsoft, I'm thinking, man, that's a good way to get people to spend more money on this game that's already a huge deal, and everybody's going to be playing Warzone and Warzone 2 and this Modern Warfare 2. Admittedly, I mean that's my favorite era of the Call of Duty, so again, I'm right there on it, getting that game when it comes out. So I think it's like Microsoft it's at a downtime right now, but people are going to be surprised at the numbers when this thing hits. I think Elden Ring came out of nowhere and did incredible numbers for what it was, and people didn't want to go back and play another World War II game. I think that was a big factor as well. So, I think that's how you learn. I can remember when Infinite Warfare came out and people were tired of the futuristic ones, right? And then you have to change a little bit. It's hard because they're planning these games years in advance, and then you hope that they do good. Because I remember Sledgehammer's last World War II game, which was, I just think, Call of Duty World War II, did really well, and people loved it. But then, as we get further and further out from actual World War II, I don't think people care as much about that. They want to play the more modern stuff. And that's just a sad fact. Look, the same thing happened to Battlefield, I think, right? They did like Battlefield, they did World War I and World War II or whatever. People just would rather play more modern type games now, with the fancy scopes and all that kind of stuff. So, it's just how it goes, and they'll modify it, and I'm sure things will work out. Like the one after that is Black Ops, which always does well.
Yeah.
So, listen, Microsoft got themselves in prime position. I'm excited to see that deal go through for multiple reasons. I think one of the reasons is they've already talked about bringing back a lot of the other IPs that Activision owns, right? Like Activision owns all these IPs, and we never get to see any of them.
Yo, Phil Spencer said Guitar Hero, and that really, I'm like, Phil,
For sure.
Don't tease me, brother.
That Guitar Hero was one of my favorite things, and then what happened was they started releasing them all the time. And then there was the competition releasing like knockoffs and stuff.
Yeah.
So that really kind of drowned it out. But I think Guitar Hero is really ripe for a comeback. Especially if you do it right. I think like Tony Hawk as well is another big one. Believe it or not, Crash Bandicoot 4 is like the best one in my opinion. It's like I love that game. I have it on Xbox and I just picked it up on PlayStation with the monthly games that they offer. But that game is so much fun. They updated it as well. You can play like new mode where there's not like amount of lives. It's just like how games are today. So they did a really good job with that. But all that stuff that they have, I think, is just they got all these IP that they can just bring back and do a good job with. I didn't like that Activision was like, okay, well, Toys for Bob is off doing this now, and they were doing really cool stuff before. I would love to see them, maybe have them work on a Banjo-Kazooie reboot or something. Like they could definitely do something like that. So I hope that we see something like that come out. I'm not like a World of Warcraft fan or anything like that, but I mean, I guess that's cool. Maybe they can reinvigorate it or whatever. But all the stuff that they have coming out is going to be in Game Pass. It makes that offering that much more special. And like the thing is, like nobody can deny that that's such a great deal right now. Especially, I know you're probably going to talk about it, like the family plan or whatever. Like if you've got kids or whatever, the fact that they're going to do, a family plan now is pretty damn incredible. Because right now, if you have multiple people in your house on it, you're paying way more than that. So it's a much better deal than what I would have expected. So yeah, that's really cool that they're going to be doing that. It's like I know like people want to talk bad on it or whatever because they wait for the other shoe to fall. But I just really think Microsoft wants to do things this way, and I think they can be successful with it. And I think Sony can be successful with what they're doing. It doesn't necessarily mean that they have to copy it. Just like I don't believe, like when Sony's like, if we did day one games with our games, the quality would suffer. They're kind of reiterating what their fans want to hear, right?
Yeah.
And once their fans hear quality might suffer, they're like, nope, don't do it.
They
And like,
run
of
with
course,
that
Sony loves.
narrative.
Yeah,
Run
yeah.
with it.
Sony loves that because then they're like, well, we can continue to charge $70 a piece, right? Let's just be real. If you're running a service, you can't put subpar stuff in there and expect to keep people subscribing anyway. So, like, I never understood that argument. Like, the quality would suffer. If anything, like they're taking longer to get started with the games, but I'm highly confident that the games that are going to be coming out are going to continue to be solid. Look at Forza Horizon 5. I mean,
Oh.
that is absolutely just amazing. The Hot Wheels stuff is just oh my god, it's so much fun. Even Halo Infinite, people talk trash on it now, but it launched in a good state. I thought just they didn't have the content for afterwards. You know, I thought they really dropped the ball there. But they could come back. There's games like Rainbow Six Siege that had even less content at launch. Even Sea of Thieves had far less content at launch, and then managed to kind of come back and do the right thing. So I'm really confident that Staten and all those guys are gonna. He brought in some old Bungie people again. I got a feeling that they're gonna do a lot of cool stuff. Forge. I don't know if you saw some of those Forge leak videos.
Dude, that's got me pumped.
It looks.
I
It
used
looks
to make
incredible.
I used to make team deathmatch maps in Halo 4. Halo 4 in that Forge. And what I'm seeing and how you can control the atmosphere and kind of like what you can do in the Forge maps now. I'll still make those classic team deathmatch things, but I'll have like troops of warthog like driving through the map as we're fighting and stuff like that. It looks really cool. Now, crap, I got to ask you the same thing that I asked Pred before I move on to somebody else. Now, you've seen Sony's like track record, especially going from the beginning of the PS4, into the PS5 era. You see what they've done with Final Fantasy. You saw, Street Fighter being exclusive, and at the end of the day, the PlayStation guys at that point in time, they're like, well, it's just business. You know what I'm saying? They spent the money, stuff like that. Do you feel like it's a little like hypocritical and Sony is really trying to paint themselves out to be more of a victim in this situation than is absolutely necessary?
I think it's a lot hypocritical because they've just picked up Bungie, and Bungie, even though they're going to keep their stuff multi-plat, like that's a huge game too. Like a lot of people play it. It's a top game on Xbox and PlayStation and PC. So I think that it's extremely. Also, if it turns out that they did pick up Square, they're going to keep those games exclusive. Final Fantasy won't come to Xbox. They've already money-hatted Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy 15 as well as Forspoken. So, I mean, that game is like, what, a 2-year exclusive? Like, who give a crap about that game after 2 years?
Nobody.
Like, honestly. So, like, I don't understand how they can buy these games and, have this happen and then go, whoa, Microsoft is really doing this or blah, blah, blah. I think the real issue comes from, because if you look at Google and Amazon, they didn't care.
No.
They're like, whatever. And Ubisoft didn't care.
Even
they're like,
Nintendo as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
nobody
Like,
else cared.
Nobody cared. But I think Sony more or less cared because if you add up the revenue of Activision and Xbox, it comes very close to what Sony does with PlayStation. So, you have that, then you have like I think Game Pass is ready to explode. Once those games start dropping, I think, we're going to start seeing that. And it's like, like some people are going to buy the stuff, some people aren't. And I think there's going to be a good mix. But it's like, I understand why people wouldn't if you're a subscriber. But it's like, I love Stranger Things. I subscribe to Netflix only for that show. I mean, it comes out on DVD or Blu-ray later, but it's like I don't care because I'm paying for Netflix, so I'm gonna enjoy the show there, right? So it's the same thing with Game Pass. For the most part, if something comes out from Microsoft on Game Pass, I'm just gonna enjoy it there, and it's gonna allow me to enjoy even more things, So I like that about it. So yeah, I definitely think that Sony was a little bit salty and very much hypocritical with that, especially since
Do you think it's more of a business play that they're trying to paint themselves like this, just so they maintain like what they feel is the upper hand in the industry.
Absolutely, absolutely. They're the top dog right now. Like I said, with the revenue and all that stuff. So the minute you start, talking about the possibility of Microsoft and Xbox doing something, really special, I think that gets people in their feelings. And Sony's not immune to that. They obviously they win for a reason, and I think they want to keep doing things a more traditional way. But you can see that they've kind of taken some of what Microsoft was doing, and they're doing that themselves now. They're slowly dipping
they
the
have
toe
to.
into the PC. Yeah, because you want to keep growing, right? Like when you got investors and you're like, okay, we had a record year or whatever, but where are you going to go from there, right?
Yeah,
It's
the
already been
investors are
proven
like,
that
okay, so what's going on next year? Good job,
yeah,
congratulations.
because there's always it's always the same 200, 300 million people with console gaming, right? So no matter how you kind of switch it around, it's always the same amount. So it's always going to be like where are you going to find those next users at? And I think that's why Microsoft and them try the cloud, and that's why they try to do PC as well. And that's why you'll see Sony continue. Sony's gonna go all out there, like I know people aren't gonna like it. It is what it is, man. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but they're gonna do it too. They're gonna take advantage of it. And I think Spider-Man is gonna sell like incredibly well on PC. And I think they're gonna rush. I think you're gonna start seeing games come out quicker and quicker. And I can remember Sony going, "Oh well, we'll wait about 2 years, blah blah blah." But you already see the excuses being made for them with the multiplayer stuff, right? They're like, "Well, it makes sense."
Well, games as a
right?
service should be day and date. That's just a no-brainer. I mean,
Yeah. Listen, I get it, but they're the ones that are like, "Hey, yeah, they're making the excuses for it already," despite the fact that Sony's like, "Nope, all games will be 2 years." Like that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But it's like Sony goes out of their wheelhouse a little bit. Sony makes great single-player first-party games. Like, to be honest with you, I have little to no interest in them doing games as a service, like multiplayer stuff. I don't know. To me, that's a crowded kind of market. You're trying to throw darts, trying to hit something. Very few of them work like that well. You know what I mean? It's like Fortnite hit, Apex hit, but those are like big multi-plats, So Destiny hit, but so many of them get released and this just fall by the wayside very quickly. So I think do you chase after that stuff? I think that's a big question you have to ask. I mean, they have Naughty Dog, maybe the best developer in the world right now, and you got them doing a remake of a game that was remastered already, and then you got them. I mean, it's just honest. And then you got them doing a multiplayer game. Like that's not their wheelhouse per se. It just doesn't sound like good business.
It's the revenue that they're looking at.
I get it. I get it.
They're throwing out 10 games, and they're probably hoping that maybe at the very least 3 or 4 really hit, because then the microtransactions, season passes, stuff like that. The ways that these companies are now getting more revenue besides just selling a game. That they look at that and they want that. That makes sense, bro. Like you see,
I agree.
You see the money that comes in annually. You see the subscription fees. You see people paying for microtransactions. Like if I was running a company, I'd be like, yeah, we got to get in on that as well. All right.
Oh, somebody's playing the Darkness, or is this the Darkness 2?
Darkness 2.
Okay, I love that game, man.
Absolutely
That's amazing.
Love this game. Love it.
Yeah,
dude. The comedy.
You know what? I played this one first, and then I went back to the first one, and I was like, the first one sucks in comparison.
That must have been hard. That must have been hard, man. Because they went all out for the second one. They went all out for the second one. Even changed the art style to the more kind of like living comic book.
That's what I was gonna say. It holds up. It holds up a lot right here. Yeah, it looks good. Like, what did you just go back and start? Is it backwards compatible or something?
Yes.
Okay.
I bought it as soon as it went back compat, and I have a big rotation of games, but I like progressing. I'll pick a day to progress on a certain game. Like today it was Darkness 2. Tomorrow will probably be like Control. And I just,
hear you.
When it comes to the single player, I have no problem, progressing a bunch of games, kind of like little by little. And if one of them really hooks me hard, I'll play it for a couple days in a row. But it's
Yeah.
nothing like, you know, playing like Halo multiplayer or Forza, which they have kind of like weekly challenges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you kind of feel like that honey-do list. You know what I'm saying? You know, with the single player, you can go back into it whenever you feel like it and kind of progress it. So that's kind of what I do, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. I recognize it, man. I'm like, yeah, this was
Nice.
a good game.
Dude, you know I always love when people see the gameplay. That's awesome, man. Speaking of gameplay, K Mega's gameplay is also in here this week. So this way he
Oh,
won't
finally.
yell at me like last week, man. And dude, you
Well,
sent me
because
like
that shit takes time, man.
no,
You know what
I
I'm
hear
saying?
you. I hear you. You sent me like 2.5 hours worth. So I didn't put
Yes.
2.5 hours worth in there. I just
Well,
want to let you know.
that's the whole point of just separating
Okay.
and making.
Yeah.
You know,
All right. Cool.
yeah,
Cool.
So, yeah.
So now, Mega, you said you
I cut my
saved
time
yourself. You saved yourself for this show when it comes to thoughts and opinions. You see Sony out there, like I said, they're tying their hair up in pigtails. They're like, "Oh, we're innocent. We're the victim here. Like this is what's going on. This is crazy." You know, Call of Duty is just so big. Nobody can rival it, and it's yeah, it's been hilarious. Let's be real. It's been absolutely hilarious, dude. What do you think about it? And what do you think? How much of this is genuine concern, and how much of it is like a business play to kind of like really show yourself as a victim and possibly get some of these trade commissions to be like, oh, I don't know about this situation. I don't know if we should approve this, bro.
Well, I think it's 60-40. 40 of them being 40% is them being concerned. 60% is just play because of the fact that I mean it's been so much said already, you know. So I'm trying to figure out, you know, how I'm going to angle it from my perspective. But
even
but
if some of the things are the same, like your words are going to be different than like Preds
well,
or
yeah,
Craps
no,
or
but
something
but
like that.
but there's one point that I was trying to address when I posted it on Twitter today was that which is a bigger property, Spider-Man or Call of Duty?
You know,
Spider-Man.
yo, I was talking to Brap in a DM in the
Mm.
Crossfire DM, and he asked if we were going to talk about this, bro. Like your tweet specifically.
Oh, really?
I
Oh,
think
really?
I
I didn't
think
know
you
that.
got
I didn't
I
know.
think you got a like a in the closet fan when it comes to Enrique. I don't know. It's weird, man. He follows you, brother. He like
Oh,
follows
no,
you.
that's pretty funny. That's
Okay.
funny. I had a couple of PlayStation people follow me on Twitter. I don't know what the hell that's about, but anyway, here the other day. But anyway, maybe because of what I was talking about in the spaces. But I was just basically making the point of just saying like Spider-Man is a bigger property than Call of Duty. Call of Duty is massive, but Call of Duty has never generated $1 billion in 3 months. Just haven't. You know, I mean, and you know, it does over time. And Call of Duty is probably one of the biggest entertainments in gaming, no doubt.
Yes.
But then when you're looking at Spider-Man and its property, and hell,
Like
Spider-Man is not
everything,
even
like
owned.
the toys,
Yeah.
the
The toys,
movies,
the comics,
games.
all of
Yeah.
that. Yeah, the movies, all of that. Yeah, all of that put together. Spider-Man and his legacy. Spider-Man has been in the public eye for generations. So for Sony to come out and make that point of saying that, you know, well, it's kind of like a monopoly. Isn't it kind of a crazy situation that you don't even own the video game rights, but you made sure that you would work with Disney to make sure that the Spider-Man franchise would stay exclusive when it wasn't exclusive at all? See, that's, you know, and of course, I mean, for the most people, a lot of people didn't push back on it. And of course, there were some of those stands that did, but I mean, you just got to look at it from that standpoint. And then let's even go further. Let's talk about Final Fantasy. Because, I mean, we're all hearing all the rumors about Final Fantasy, Square Enix most likely being gobbled up by Sony, which I feel that that's a great home for Square Enix. I mean, it just makes sense. Like ZeniMax or ZeniMax with Xbox and even like Activision with Xbox, that seems like a perfect marriage. Square Enix is a perfect marriage for Sony, no doubt about it. But best believe if that actually happens, what would people say if Xbox came with that same type of slander, saying, "Oh, well, I mean, Final Fantasy is the biggest, not only JRPG, but one of the biggest JRPGs ever. The game has been out for damn near 40 years.
Started on Nintendo, man.
It started out on Nintendo. So, you know what I'm saying? So it started out on the NES. So just think about that legacy right there. So, you know what I'm saying? So you're looking at that, and then do people expect that Sony's going to play nice and put Final Fantasy on other platforms?
Yeah,
I mean, we're already
hell
seeing
no.
what they're doing when they're just doing you know, their little shady tactics with their marketing tricks. See, a lot of us, you know, we were ignorant back in the, you know, the PlayStation 1, Sega Genesis, you know, Nintendo 64 era. We weren't thinking about none of this stuff like that. But us as gamers that's grown up, and now we're starting to get more access and understanding of what's happening. What we've noticed is that Sony has been playing this game for so long, and nobody has questioned them on it. Nobody has ever said that, well, this is a dirty business tactic. Look at what they've done through the history. They put Nintendo through the ringer, almost put Nintendo out to make them a third party. They completely shut down, because of their tactics, shut down Sega and made Sega a third party. And then they was trying to do the coup de grace and put Xbox out. Damn near did it, because Xbox was shooting their own selves in the foot.
Well, Mega, I
Yeah.
love the breakdown. I forgot who said it. I wish I could let them know. But when they were talking about strategically taking, you know, the most popular games in certain genres and clamping it down on your platform, so this way fans of those genres, say like, you know, JRPGs, they'll be like, yeah, you know, you can play this, this, and this on Xbox, yeah, but I won't be able to play Final Fantasy, which is like the number one. They want to play the number one and then the other ones that are in the genre as well. So Sony was strategically getting Xbox like out of the conversation of these genres, basically pushing them out of the industry like slowly. Man, I thought that was a genius. I never thought of it like that, and I forgot. I wish I could remember who said that, but that was absolutely true, man.
Yeah, I mean, and that's exactly what they were trying to do. That, like, I mean, just think about trying to push Xbox out in order for them to actually work out a deal with whoever that would have acquired Xbox, maybe Amazon or Apple or something like that, and then having some of those properties like Halo and Gears coming over there to PlayStation. See, that's what PlayStation's tactics is. Sony's tactics has always been. It's kind of like, you know, we're going to try to hold all this competition at bay and do it with these tactics that we've been doing for absolutely since we jumped into the gaming business. And now what they did is that they went against a company that, and Nintendo has a lot of money. But Nintendo fights a different type of fight. Like the exclusive talk about, you know, everybody talks about exclusives. The only company that really could talk about it and really back it up is Nintendo. PlayStation, we're seeing the numbers are down on their end. Xbox, it's up and down. It's according to what game that is for an Xbox game exclusive to actually be considered successful. And PlayStation only has a handful out of all the games that they do. Everybody counts, you know, their timed exclusivity or the games that they spend to market as their exclusives if those games don't go elsewhere. But they're probably they're most likely second or third party. So they clump those games in with PlayStation as well. But when it comes to exclusive, Nintendo is the ones that dominate. Every game that Nintendo comes out that's an exclusive for them, it sells. It is unbelievable.
Nintendo is crazy. You know, even with when the Wii U was out, right? When the Wii U was Nintendo's console, the crazy thing, I remember seeing this when it came to like their first party sales, they actually sold more copies of their first party games than they actually had Wii U's out there to the customers. Like you don't see that with any other company, bro.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like Nintendo is in its own category when it comes to the exclusive talk. But when you break it down to what Sony is trying to do, they're paranoid. They're a little paranoid. And really I would say it would be almost a disaster if the FTC would have a company that would pay to own their property, their franchise, or, you know, their company that paid the money to own it, to have to be regulated in a way to where if Xbox wanted to keep those games or Microsoft wanted to keep those Call of Duty games exclusives that they couldn't. And that's kind of what Sony's trying to do. They're trying to throw a wrench in and trying to see if anything would stick or if there would be any type of chink into the armor to try to stop this deal. And that to me is incredible because there's a potential that it could. I mean, I think everybody on the panel believes that this is going to be 97, 98% chance that Microsoft is going to acquire them. But I don't think, I'm like you, I don't think Xbox will, or Microsoft or Phil, whoever's going to be the one that's most likely Phil, is going to have Call of Duty be exclusive to Xbox. I think that they're going to put it on Nintendo. They're going to put it. They're going to they're going to leave it on PlayStation. All that money, all that revenue that they're going to get off of that, just off of that game alone, is going to be ridiculous. Not to talk about Overwatch and Diablo and and all the stuff with the mobile stuff. Like that's going to be nuts, right? So you could go ahead and Minecraft those games. It's not going to be a big deal because everybody knows. Only thing you got to do is just put a big fat Xbox logo right there when you sit there and boot up Call of Duty.
Like when you boot up the show.
Where that comes. Yeah, when you boot up the show, you know where this is coming from and who's in charge and who you paying. So that's all that matters at the end of the day is the revenue because that's going to trickle down all through the Xbox through Xbox.
Dude, I am very happy to hear you say that because there was one point in time, me and you were kind of like, we were head to head. We were bumping heads here on the whole exclusivity thing. Now with Game Pass, though, I think it's a great addition
that's
right there.
Yeah, that's the win-win because if Xbox, you know what I'm saying, if there's no, even if there's a stipulation, Xbox is still going to win. Sony knows that, but without stipulations, Xbox can still find a way to maneuver by trying to go and make maybe spinoffs and make those exclusives. But unless there's something that the FTC is making sure that Call of Duty is never to be, an exclusive, which I don't, I just can't see that. That just don't make any sense because if that's the case, then would Microsoft play dirty with them, with Square Enix, with Final Fantasy, or with some other properties or something like that, or would they do that to Tencent because now of what you was talking about, like they're trying to get more stock into Ubisoft, which they're probably most likely going to try to maybe overtake them and take.
It's basically a takeover move when you own majority.
Right. So to me, it's like what Sony has done is kind of did a scorched earth effect, which I've never seen this done before, which I'm pretty sure it has been in other sectors, but to this degree for Sony to actually do this. And for another thing, if I was a studio dev working for them, I would feel a certain type of way. Like you're telling me that I can't make a game like Call of Duty? Are you kidding me? I've never seen a Call of Duty game win a goddamn award. My games win awards. What are you talking about? See, like I really would have took that personally. I mean, me and Don was sitting there talking about that, and Don was like,
I know Don probably got heated. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Don said, "Oh no, he didn't even think about it when I brought it up to him yet last night." And he was like, "Oh yeah, I wouldn't have liked that either." Because just for the purpose of trying to derail something that Sony knows that is going to hurt the market share for them. That it's going to, because everybody knows is what Crap said. People are tired of buying COD every year. And Microsoft could also do some slick shit. Now, I don't know if I think overall Phil is going to do the right thing for every gamer, and they're going to drop the price probably back to $60. But if they wanted to sit there and play Sony's game where they want all their games to be $70, hey, it's on Game Pass right here. Here you go, $70. Xbox gamer $60. If they wanted to play that game like that, I mean, at that point, once they own them, they can sit there and do whatever the hell they want to with the price, right? So it's like, but I don't think Phil would actually do that. But it's more the thing to me is that the people out there will, and where I disagree with Pred on is where he said that, it's not going to make people change the consoles. Yeah, it will. The casuals are the people who, that moves the market. The casuals they aren't loyal to anybody.
Well, the funny thing is, and again, this is something that Crap said, and I've been thinking about. I've been hearing everything you're saying, but in the back of my mind, I've been thinking about this because he was talking about all the previous Call of Duties, like going into Game Pass as well. That right there is what would really swing Call of Duty fans
Yeah,
over
yeah,
to the Xbox platform that have all those
absolutely.
games in Game Pass plus the new ones when they drop. Like that's gonna be the Call of Duty fans kind of like gaming heaven right there,
Right,
because I do
right.
know a lot of people, they do prefer the older Call of Duties, like some that Modern Warfare 1. And if they have all the servers open and they're live, and you can do multiplayer throughout all those Call of Duties, dude, that's huge, absolutely
Black Ops
huge.
2 is God. When it became backwards compatible for the Xbox, PlayStation people were pissed.
Oh shit.
Right.
And
Well, well, and then also,
it sold out everywhere. Everywhere
that's
people trying to get that. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, K-Maker.
yeah, yeah. I was like, you didn't interrupt anybody else. Shut your old ass up.
Oh
You
shit!
Yo,
talked
he,
about
he he wants to talk too,
but you
brother.
brought up a good game, dude. You know, I had to say something.
Yeah, I
I
think
know
Crap
you're
brought
gonna
up
say
a
something
great,
anyway.
a great kind of like idea with that really had me thinking throughout this whole thing. I'm like, damn, that is huge right there. Yeah.
Back in the day, man, when Black Ops 2 went backwards compatible, I did a comparison video with the backwards compatible version on PS4, with the patented black screen on that side. Went over,
That's it.
Well, I mean,
went over pretty well.
I remember that
well,
video.
just think about
That shit was funny as hell.
Yeah.
well, just think
What's
about
funny
the
is when,
situation.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, what I was going to make up is just like what you was bringing up is saying that with just because when that game went back to backwards compatibility, that stuff shot up in sales. So that just tells you right there, if people know that they got a hub to where they can play every Call of Duty, then right there, that's gonna generate a lot of people just to come over and get the $250 version. Console,
Ooh.
not so much the 500. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, because Xbox is going to drop the price of
The Modern Warfare collection.
Right, the Modern
Mega,
Warfare
but
collection. Are you kidding me? Like
every
all
Call of
digital?
Duty is in Game Pass, even though you still got to pay for it now. Every
Right.
Call of Duty is in Game Pass.
What?
It's been there.
No,
I mean,
it's not.
it's on
Nah.
Xbox. I'm sorry. Every
okay.
Call of Duty is on Xbox
There you go.
right
Whoa.
now.
Yeah,
Every
no.
single one.
Yeah, we know, but I'm saying, but if you put them all on Game Pass, that is a game changer that Sony can't compete
Oh,
with.
they
And
can't
Sony
catch
knows
that.
that.
Ain't nothing
Right,
they can do. You're
They
right.
can't catch that. But in the sense of me going to my point, and I'll go ahead and get ready to get finished, so you can go ahead, Sir X-Man, it's just going back to the Final Fantasy situation because of how Final Fantasy is probably the biggest, largest selling RPG franchise of all time. And people can say, well, Skyrim is not as old as Final Fantasy. You know what I'm saying? You could talk about, damn sure in the JRPG space, that's what I was making when I made that video talking about Final Fantasy against Persona. You could love Persona more, but there is no comparison between sales of Final Fantasy and Persona.
And Mindshare.
just now
And
started.
Mindshare as
Yeah,
well.
and Mindshare. And so if Sony is trying to say that they can't compete from that, then Xbox should be able to say, well, hell, none of our RPGs has ever sold as much as Final Fantasy. But Sony's going to lock it down, so there should be no reason to trip out about it. So to me, I just think that this is grimy. Don said it best in here in the chat.
Yeah, I saw that.
Sony should just shut the hell up and just compete.
He said, "Shut
because
the
everybody's
funk up. Shut the
shut
funk
the funk up." But if everybody says that Xbox, they be ready to see they want to see the behemoth come out. They want to see Xbox compete. They want to see what really that they can do. And now Xbox is showing that, and now people are complaining. It's like, well, that's just not fair. Then I think that people are just only just trying to huddle up in their own little camps and only just want to just say the shit and not see really true competition happen like it used to between Sega and Nintendo back in the days. But now it's a new time. It's a new era, man. It's definitely
shit about to get real, bro. Shit about to get real.
It's about to
and
get crazy.
talk about be the behemoth that you are in terms of Xbox and Microsoft. Yeah, I kind of wonder what my brother Next Gen thinks about this. Maybe we should get him on the show. I want to hear what he has to say. So maybe at some point I'm gonna reach out to Next Gen to see if Xbox.
He'll be like, the Kraken's racking it. Come on.
He'll be like, yo, we're so far past the Kraken. What's going on with that Call of Duty?
Where's his Where's his body? Where's his body?
Yo, it's coming. Future update. I swear. I swear. All right, so yo, and shout out to everybody in chat. The Elusive Gamer, what is going on, brother? Good to see you. Yo, Poe, what is up? And Dragonheart Yobi had a members chat in here. So shout out to Yobi being a member for 8 months on this channel. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you for the support. He says, peace, love, life. Shout out to K Mega. Give the man his flowers, bro. I did start a little bit of that last Friday. I shocked him. I think he almost had a heart attack when he saw the super chat from Xbox 448. But you know, I'm sorry.
did.
Dude, you stopped everything. Like,
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, what is
whoa,
this?
whoa! I found a unicorn. Yeah. But he says, Xbox, I'm proud of your growth, brother. Sir X-Man, welcome back, you old bastard. Yo, shout out to Yobi, man.
Eat
Nothing
my
but love for you,
shorts,
brother.
Yobi.
Oh. Well, on that note, we got the man himself, Sir X-Man. Sir, I know you've seen everything what Sony's saying here. You know, a lot of people are
I've
like,
heard everything. I
Yeah.
know everything that's going on. You ain't got to repeat it. Love you, bro.
all right, well, you know, I thought that was my job as a moderator, but yo, okay, what are your thoughts and opinions, man?
I still love you, bro.
No
Okay.
doubt, brother. I'm still gonna whoop
Microsoft,
your ass in golf, by the way.
I know. Microsoft has released the Kraken on Sony, and their ass is
it
opened
full
up
body?
wide
Is it a full
because
body
they
Kraken?
got scared. The shit is coming out of Sony right now. That's all I gotta say.
Wow.
I know. Okay.
All right,
I'm gonna go a little back, but this is relevant to what's happening with Sony right now. Sony has always had, most of the time, a first person narrative. Even they had some on the PS3, and that brought them up to a whole new level finally. But that first player, that one player narrative
single player.
is not working anymore for them. It's not working anymore for them. Call of Duty, other than Destiny and a few other third-party games, are starting to hurt them. That one game, Call of Duty, is their biggest multiplayer game every year. Microsoft, most of their games are 90% multiplayer. You don't get no extra income from your single player, Sony. And a lot of times you don't really bring any DLC for your single player
That is
games.
true. People were screaming for God of War DLC for the kind of like that soft reboot of
I
God of
know.
War. People were screaming for DLC.
People are screaming for SOCOM. People are screaming for another Resistance with the multiplayer. People are screaming for their Hawks to make a comeback. People are screaming for what is that I used to love? Twisted Metal Black with a multiplayer with it.
People still screaming for
Okay.
The Last of Us 2 multiplayer.
Well, yeah, I know they shut that shit off.
Factions is coming, sir. Factions is we just someday.
Yeah,
It'll be
that's
there.
like Final Fantasy VII coming to Xbox. Okay, let's
Oh damn, bro.
be real. But they're starting to pay the price for their own stubbornness over the year. You got to the top, and you think that my single players is going to keep me ruling. But in the meanwhile, when they're dead, Microsoft is still making money on their multiplayers. Their own multiplayers. And Sony said they got Bungie to help them relieve them of that. But who knows how long it's going to take them to remedy that situation.
They say by 2026 they're gonna have like games as a
long,
service, man.
and the way this world moves and the way money moves,
Great point.
that's a long ass time. So they're trying to throw a wedge in their biggest multiplayer game that comes to Sony for most of their players that they have for multiplayer. And without that, they might be in trouble.
Well, they're
You
definitely
got
they're definitely going to lose. They're definitely going to lose. Quite a bit of revenue
yeah.
because if you
And I'm
look at
not gonna talk about it coming to Game Pass. That's gonna be whenever that's gonna be, whenever they work out the deals on that later. But either way it go, Microsoft is about to make money from you. They make money because you pay them for the Azure servers. Now they're gonna make money on you for the Call of Duty when it comes. No matter how you put it, you're paying for people to play Call of Duty in Game Pass. Thank you.
well,
Uh,
Sir X-Men, you're talking about basically Microsoft getting revenue. When this deal is done, I'm going to say when the deal is done because I think
right. They'll
it's
still
pretty
be
much a
making
no
money.
brainer. Yeah. Now, what do you
It's,
think about the people on social media? There's been kind of like a
you
hold on.
know me.
No, hold on.
I don't
There's been a
care.
calling for people to boycott Call of Duty, even the next one. Even though if everything goes smoothly with this acquisition, it's not going to be until the beginning of next year. They could start the finalization process in October, right? But it's not going to be until the beginning of next year, if for the acquisition to be completely finalized and stuff like that. But you have people out there already trying to form kind of like a front, a union of people boycotting Call of Duty. Like, what do you
That
think
will
about that?
never, ever
It
happen.
never
Because when
happened, bro.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare came out, and it was around the 9/11 time, and these people, they had the terrorists go into the airport and start killing people,
Innocent
people
people, yeah.
still bought that fucking game. Call of Duty is a juggernaut. People may talk shit, but they will buy Call of Duty.
Dude, I agree with you 100%, man. I don't think it's gonna
So
do.
I don't believe that social media bullshit, and you know I really don't pay attention to it, bro.
All right, brother. All right.
I want to
I'm
touch.
done.
I do want to touch on this right fast. I seen that somebody asked me about a World of Warcraft that was saying is Final Fantasy bigger than World of Warcraft? Well, there are two different genres of games. I mean, Worldcraft is a MMO. Final Fantasy is a JRPG. There's a difference, but at this moment right now, I would say that probably Final Fantasy Online, which is an MMO, is probably bigger
That's
than
14,
Warcraft
right?
at this. Yeah, 14. That's probably, I think that because that broke records. That's like the number one. That's like one of the number one MMOs out there. So I don't know, you know what I'm saying? And I don't really hear people talk too much about Mind of Warcraft anymore. But
Oh, they still have their millions of players,
oh,
K
I know,
Mega.
I still got
World
their
of
players,
Warcraft is still huge. Yeah.
but I think at this point,
Yeah,
in
but
time that,
it's not the juggernaut that it used to be. I will
yeah, it's not the
definitely.
juggernaut. Yeah. So I would say that at this point, if you want to talk about the MMO aspect of it, which that MMO is not on Xbox either. You know what I'm saying? So,
But if they did bring World of Warcraft to Xbox, it would
oh
blow
yeah,
up.
no, yeah, no,
Blow
it
the
would be
fuck up.
it would be nuts. But what I'm saying is that just answering that question, like Final Fantasy Online right now is probably the more popular game.
Mm.
So it's so I mean, you know, you're talking about apples and oranges when you're saying an RPG against an MMO, but MMO, you know, Final Fantasy is still a legit MMO as well. So, and that's also exclusive to only PlayStation and PC. So at the moment, so that just goes back to what I was saying about even the Final Fantasy argument. That Final Fantasy has not come on to the latest Final Fantasies has not come on to Xbox. Sony has held them, and they don't even own the company. That's really crazy.
They throwing that
So,
money to like,
Hey, K
you
Mega,
don't put it over there.
there is a game starting to actually catch up with that Final Fantasy Online game, and it's taking time, but that Elder Scrolls Online game is slowly getting up there.
That is definitely it is building momentum. It's building
Yeah, it
steam.
is
And
a lot.
that's something that when Bethesda got acquired, there were two games I was like, you know what, Xbox is gonna go in and kind of like help them out and get them to build these games as a service up. And that was Elder Scrolls Online. And I think we're starting to see that. And
The game's looking
Fallout
good.
76 as well. I feel like that is another game that Xbox looked at and it's like, hey, we can work together with these guys and really build that up. It's a game as a service. If we build it up the right way, because like Sea of Thieves came out, it was lacking content in a lot of people's eyes, but you see what happens now. Now it has a faithful following of so many gamers. They just dropped a new season and I've seen nothing but good things about the new season. I'm actually
Over
gonna jump
20
in.
million weekly playing Sea of Thieves.
You see, it's just kind of like under the radar, and you take that Elder Scrolls and Fallout 76, and you kind of like you nurture that community, and you watch it grow, and you get that 20 million or so people playing
And it
each month.
goes back to my point of what's hurting Sony. They don't have big multiplayer games to keep their earnings coming in.
I got you.
Crap,
That's
that's one of the things that we fought to the death for, and we won that battle when it comes to Sea of Thieves, because we were we were the only two on that island when everybody else was saying Sea of Thieves was dead.
I've seen your ass still play it once in the blue moon, okay, Mega?
Yeah.
Crap gave up because of all the cheaters.
Yeah, hey, it's true, man. There was like
I
people just
know.
yeah, I mean, you run into some of those PC people, and well, actually, you know what? I actually played the Jack Sparrow thing or the Pirates of the Caribbean thing when that came out. Yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting.
They fixed a lot of the cheater problems though since then. Crap.
Yeah,
it really gotten better.
Well, I'm glad because I thought it was unlike anything else out there. You know what I mean? It's just kind of chill or whatever, and you can just kind of have fun with it. I thought, I still think it's a good game. I just, like for me, you got to have a crew to run it with.
You got to agree with me on this one. This is the kind of game that Sony's missing.
Yeah, I mean, they would love to get a game. I mean, look, even though that game's on Game Pass, it sold 5 million on Steam as well.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like that's a very interesting type of way to look at it, is because some people just want to buy something on their particular platform, and and I think that's really cool. That's a game that they've done really well with. I mean, I'm sure they wish they would have launched it in a little bit better state, but I mean, where it's been to where it is now, I think it's night and day. 100% better. If they would release it with the content it has now, it'd probably be 80 something rated Metacritic, instead of 60 something. So I mean, they've learned. They definitely learned from that and those mistakes and things like that. So, I mean, they know what they're doing. I think, you just have to be able to have that content there ready to go. That's going to be the biggest thing that Microsoft, they have to learn. I mean, even from Halo, was like, to me, I wouldn't have launched the game unless you have the first year of content already ready to go. And then you can focus on year 2, so.
But I want to finish my point real quick and then I'm done, guys. It's just a quick thing. Sony has always been slow to learn trends. They used to be the trend makers, but I don't know when it happened, but they started being a follower of trends. And that's not the Sony that I grew up with. So I don't know what happened along the way with them. Whether it's the PS.
To the top of the mountain.
It was.
You tend to get
go ahead. Yeah.
No,
it's like. I understand. I'm sorry, dude. We crossing up a little bit. I apologize.
My bad.
But and especially in this generation, Sony got caught with their coattails down, man, and they could not catch up. They thought it was a joke, everything that Microsoft was doing, and Microsoft has always been a company that thinks so far ahead. I'd say it, but Sony has copied a lot of things Microsoft has done and other companies what they have done. So for them to be now trying to catch up, and then in their comments on the thing that I saw that Sony said, well, we can't compete with Game Pass. It's going to take us about 5 years to catch up.
Hold on. That's my next topic, sir.
I didn't know, dude. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I do not appreciate that.
All I saw was PlayStation Plus stuff. I didn't see anything about the Game Pass thing.
I am taking the check out of the mail. You are not getting paid for tonight's show. I'm just saying. You know,
I
but
haven't given you any money, so I'm good. I keep it in my pocket.
so that's in turn. That's the way I'm paying you. I got you, bro.
But no, I mean the general point is, so they got caught with their pants down for the past few years, not trying to innovate on anything, and now they're behind the curve
They're
because
catching up.
Microsoft sent the big money out there to do what they had to do. You woke them up with your bullshit. Now that you got them awake, you don't like it,
Yeah, you want
and
you want
I'm
to put
done.
them back to
I'm
sleep.
done.
Like yo, they're playing the
Yeah.
lullaby. They're trying to put Xbox back to sleep. No. Lay down. You're tired. Don't just
Mhm.
calm down.
I'm just chilling. My
Yeah.
oxycontin is kicking
Oh
in.
no.
Mm.
Oh, I have
I'm
no
good.
idea. I have no idea what kind of Sir X Man is going to happen with that. But
I'm chill.
I do want to get into this next subject because Sony also talked about Game Pass when it came down to this. Now they didn't really have to. All right, you heard what they said about Call of Duty in terms of this acquisition, but they went ahead and started talking about Game Pass, and I don't have the exact words in front of me right now, but basically they stated that Microsoft with Game Pass they have 60 to 70% of the game subscription market right now, and even more in Brazil. They're talking more like 70 to 80% in Brazil, because we all know when it comes to Brazil, there are a lot of Xbox fans in Brazil. Now the funny thing was, now if you follow me on Twitter, somebody posted a graphic about game subscription services, and they showed PS Plus with so many millions of people,
I saw that
and all right,
bullshit.
they showed Nintendo Online, and then they showed Xbox, and I put this out there, I with a big kind of like beware when it came to those numbers, and the reason why I put that, right, the reason why I put that is because what Sony did on the business side of things is absolute genius. They took the service that you need to have to play online games, and they rolled it into their game subscription service as well. So PS Plus, the essential tier, is just for people to play, a bunch of games online. It's the equivalent to Xbox Live Gold, because people started comparing PS Plus and Game Pass. I'm like, you can't do that, because PS Plus, the essential tier, really compares to Xbox Live Gold, where when you look at Game Pass, they don't have that tier. It's not Game Pass is not a necessity to play games online on Xbox. They do have Game Pass Ultimate, which rolls your Xbox Live Gold into the service, but it's not a necessity. All right, people that buy that just pay $10 a month, and not the 15 for Ultimate. People that just pay the $10 per month for Game Pass, they're also paying for Xbox Live Gold if they are playing games online. All right, so that's where it's not comparable. Now, the crazy thing about this is Sony came out and said when it comes to game subscription services, Game Pass basically owns 60 to 70% of the market right now. They said that even with substantial investments, any company trying to get into this space, it would take years before they would be a competitive rival to the service. And I got to give a shout out to Sony on this one, because unlike the silver medalists out there, unlike the Sony extremists out there, they also realize that the essential tier is not necessarily a part of the game service, because there is no way with somebody showing how many millions of people have PS Plus, and showing that it's so much more than supposed Game Pass numbers, right? There is no way that Game Pass that Xbox would own 60 to 70% of that domain. All right, do you see what I'm saying? If Sony has 100 and some odd million, PS Plus subscribers, even Sony knows that their essential tier isn't necessarily a part of that, because all that is a comparative, an equivalent to Xbox Live Gold. I hope that really kind of like makes sense there. Um, I think it does. I think it's a no brainer. But let's go to Crap. No, we're not going to Crap because he already.
Crap is gone. Crap
Yeah.
said he's out.
Damn, I tried to get to this before he left. Yo, shout out to Crap Gamer. Always fun to have him on. It's funny because people are like, yeah, I can't believe you guys are cool and everything. And it's like even with like, we were on different platforms and stuff like that. You guys have no idea. We used to be in the DMs talking shit to each other and stuff like that. He's a real cool guy. So shout out to Crap Gamer. So I don't know. Let's go to K Mega on this. Yo, Mega,
Yeah.
dude, 60 to 70% of game subscription. Dude, are you surprised? And do you see what I'm saying now? Like, Sony, they even know better than to put their essential tier in the whole mix when it comes to game subscription service, because
Right.
if they did do that, there's no way that they would be stating Game Pass owns 60 to 70% of that genre, of that kind of like domain, the game
And that
subscription
also,
service.
right, and that also makes the point of that their argument of Microsoft messing up the market would be non and void, because if Sony's numbers were if those are actual accurate numbers for Sony for what the stands have been posting, then this would be null and void pretty much. This would not even make any sense, and so their argument would be shot down. You got a super chat.
Yo, shout out to Master Clown. What is up, bro? It is always good to see you in the chat. Yo, hitting up that super chat. Brother, you should have put something in there for me to say. Dude, I hope you thought I made a great point there, but man, always appreciate the support, and it is good to see you in the chat again, bro. But go ahead, K Mega.
Well, I mean, it just comes to show that a lot of people's predictions about Game Pass in a negative light is another narrative that's shot down, that's dead. Like it's finito, chitin. Because of the fact that not only that nobody really equated the PC aspect behind it or the mobile of Game Pass. So that also is just kind of showing you right now this how dominant the Game Pass has actually become, and that it is the standard. It is at this point the Netflix of gaming services, and so that's why. And it also shows why Sony said they had no choice but to make their own. And so, and then you see more and more of these services starting to come out, and man, there really ain't too much more to say than just that Sony they sounded pathetic. For all the strong talk that they have said, for all the narratives that they've driven, they looked pathetic, scared, weak, inept. They just felt like, I mean, and then they also threw their own studios devs under the bus by saying that they couldn't make a game that is what some people would call a simplified, just brainless shooter. Like, just think about that. Think about all those things, and for everything that Sony said, just to try to throw shade to stop this deal, they have threw so many people under the bus, even the ones that stand and cap for them, like Fahim and others, every damn day for Sony.
Talk about Cap. Talk about Cap.
Yeah,
Phase 23 Brooklyn.
It's sad.
Yo, he's saying that last reported numbers were 25 million. If Microsoft was doing really good, why they don't report the numbers? Now, brother, so are you trying to say that you don't believe Sony right here talking about Game Pass, saying that they have 60 to 70% of the subscription service kind of like, domain on lock
I'll
right
answer
now?
I'll answer that question for you. I talked to a couple of PlayStation people, and they think that this was just for them to just throw shade.
They can't lie about numbers like that, because
they
they would
can't
throw it
lie
right back
to
at
the FTC. They can't do that. They can't do that. Like, I mean, I understand that you guys can lie to the public all you want to. You ain't gonna get in trouble for that. But there's certain places that you can't take those lies to. You can't do that shit in the court of law when you because there's a thing called perjury, and you can't do this shit to the FTC because they already know the numbers. They know if they catch you in a lie, you could get penalized for that. So again, it just exploits how how desperate Sony is to not have this deal go through. And even though everybody on the panel believes that Sony is fine, it's not like Sony's going to go, like PlayStation is going to ever go away. If anything, if the worst case scenario that would happen to Sony would become another Sega. You know what I'm saying? It would become third party. They would become third party. But I think that would be the worst scenario. But PlayStation would still be, it would still be viable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, there would still be some kind of remnants of PlayStation if that was to ever happen where they don't make consoles anymore. But to me, it's just like, listen, enjoy the competition. See, you're
for
putting
real.
all these. You're changing your own stance on where last generation single player experiences. You had all the writers and beat writers and gamers all jump on EA and Microsoft because or Xbox because they were talking about single player games just isn't bringing in the money, or it's losing its luster, and people went up and on what, and then like the VGAs, look at how all single player games for the most part that wins the VGAs. Like, we're going to show you that multiplayer is not the standard, and look at what Sony did. Sony's like, well, 2020, about 2026, man, we gonna be
We're gonna have 10 games as a service out.
Those games as a service now. I mean, we'll still have our single player exclusives, and that to me is just kind of like, man, look at all this shit. Like, and then the way that they do things that should just make, and I can't say it should, it has made PlayStation gamers kind of tilt their head like, wait, what is this? I've already played The Last of Us. Why are you charging me for this? Why you don't put this in why you don't put this in this service that I'm supporting? It's just so many things that just comes within what they said that don't make any sense. And so, I'm done with it, but it doesn't look good for Sony to seem so weak at this point when they are at what people would say at the height of their powers right now. And
that chart is a lie.
Yeah.
Well,
I saw that chart. That's a lie.
Yeah, but like,
you compare PS Plus against Game Pass stats, but PS Plus is like Xbox Live. Game Pass,
the essential
it's
tier,
still part of Xbox Live. So guess what? There are more regular Xbox Live subscribers than that bullshit chart that did not count them. They only did Game Pass against PS Plus. They did not do PS Plus tiers against Game Pass.
See, that's the thing right there. When you get into the two higher tiers, higher than essential, the two higher tiers, you can definitely compare to Game Pass.
The Game Pass, that's
all right. When it comes to the essential, you compare that to Xbox Live Gold.
But Xbox Live is way more.
Oh, Xbox Live Gold.
47,000 people. Xbox Live Gold is way more than 47,000 people.
Well, no, I didn't see 47,000. I don't know.
But their PS Plus shows 47,000 against regular Game Pass.
I haven't looked at the tweet absolutely blew up. Like I think it's at like.
You want me to resend it to you so you can get it faster?
Well, no, I want to address Face 23 again. Again, shout out to you, brother, for coming and hanging out with us. But dude, are you trying to tell me that they are just making up a percentage just so these people can look into it more? They can't do that. All right? They can't do that. And it's amazing how you will take everything that Sony says on any other basis and it's absolute fact. But when they say that Xbox has an advantage in a certain area in gaming, that's when you're like, oh no, that's not what they mean. They're just throwing these numbers out there. They're not real numbers, okay? They just want the FTC to look into it a little bit harder. It's imaginary. That's what you're saying right now, but you will stand by them on every other thing that they say. Dude, do you realize how hypocritical you are making yourself look right now, bro?
And those numbers came from who again?
I think it was Zuby Tech. On YouTube, I guess.
But they got those numbers from where? From what? From who?
Dude, see, now you're gonna make me check.
No, I thought that they got that from Sony. That's
Yeah,
what I was
well,
trying
Yeah,
to
they
figure
got
out.
it from Sony. Yeah.
he created he created a chart probably from Sony because he really follows Sony like hard. When it comes down to it, but K Mega, you were gonna say something. My apologies, bro.
Yeah, no. I just wanted to address what the geeky nerd was saying. He's like, he said like people don't lie to the government. That's not what I said. You do not. There is plenty of people that lie to the government, but you don't lie. You don't make written statements and post this to entities that like in a courthouse or to like the FTC, and then don't think that you won't get penalized for getting caught in your lies. That's a different thing from just going out and saying some bullshit to the public and then like, or maybe, you know what I'm saying? Because even when you go and and even if you go somewhere and you're trying to say something, even the people that are they plead the fifth, they don't want to open their mouth and say anything. So that paper, so that information that they sent out there, that's not a lie. You know what I'm saying? So with people thinking that, like what Bob was just saying, just doesn't make any damn sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get that Sony is trying to finesse the situation, but they can't lie about those numbers. And if they did, they would be penalized to the point to where the FTC would be like, okay, cool, they got caught lying. We'll just go ahead and shut that shit down. You know what I'm saying? You're non and void. We're just going to let this go through.
All right, check this
I
out.
have a
Check this
soda.
out.
I found a stat that's
Sir
going
X-Man,
to blow
Sir
your
X-Man,
mind.
Hold on, real quick. Sir X-Man, I'm looking at the chart right now. First off, at the top, it says gaming subscription services. Gaming subscription services subscriber counts. And this is by Zubitech, all right? It has PlayStation Plus and Sir X-Man, it says millions on the side. All right. So PlayStation Plus at 47 million, Nintendo Online on 32 million, Game Pass 25 million, and EA Play is at 12 million. So according to this chart, Game Pass is at about 25% of the gaming subscription services domain. This is an absolute lie because Sony said 60 to 70%. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay. Now, I just found a stat. It only goes because Microsoft hasn't really given any numbers since 2020. All right. It says with Microsoft, Xbox, online on consoles as of December 2020, Microsoft Online Gaming Service had approximately 100 million monthly active users, and said up from just 14 million at the beginning of 2016. We have over 100, and for 2020, over 100 million Xbox Live users.
Now, see, with that, they do say active users. Now, for people who have a home
online
console,
users,
can I say, Sir X-Man, let me finish real quick, bro. When they say active users, right? One person can be an actual subscriber, and if they have a home Xbox, right? If somebody else is using their home Xbox with their gamer tag, because with their own gamer tag, all right, it automatically adds them as an active user as well. I'm not saying this is like a huge kind of like majority of people, but I do try to be, as honest and as upfront as possible. So when they do say active users, now say like my home console is downstairs in the living room, right? Now say my daughter say my daughter goes on like her gamer tag and goes on, the Xbox downstairs. That will count as an active user on Xbox Live Gold, because she gets all the benefits of Xbox Live Gold because that's my home console. So when it comes to that, that's not necessarily the same as subscriptions. All right, there is a kind of like gray area in the middle of that.
But doesn't Sony PlayStation have the ability to do that also?
Yes.
On their console, like Xbox does.
But see, I don't see PlayStation Extremists say that, when they get those numbers. And again, maybe Sony says, subscriptions. And if they do say subscriptions, then it goes back to the person who is paying the monthly fee for that subscription. But what I'm saying here is that chart is a lie. And what that chart is doing, it's taking the essential tier that has nothing to do with game subscription, and it has everything to do with being able to play your games online. They're taking those numbers and throwing them in there when it comes to PlayStation Plus as well, and they're trying to act like all those numbers are all people that are in there, and they're in there for the gaming subscription service, which is not true. And shout out to Love Chat, because you are getting deleted by K Mega. Good job, brother.
K Mega put the hammer down.
Yeah. Let's get Pred in on this. Pred, again, Sony talking about Game Pass as well, which I was kind of shocked. They didn't need to do that. So I got to ask you, why you think they brought that up as well? And dude, what do you think about the 60 to 70%? You hear the back and forth that's going on right now when it comes to I didn't think this would be such a hot topic in the chat, but there are people there are people going crazy about these numbers right here and saying that Sony just pulled numbers out of their ass to talk to the Brazilian FTC just so they can get them to look into the deal more carefully. What do you think about this, bro?
It's funny when we start talking numbers that have been posted by people like from the individual companies themselves. It's never true. Like if Sony says something that's that's positive, it's true. But if they say something that's anti Xbox, that's not true, or vice versa. Like if fucking Greenberg comes out and says, "Yeah, we did this many," there's always a caveat in there where it's not. There's like, "Oh, they're not talking about this. This is what they really mean." Like, no, they're literally telling you what they mean, and you're hearing this from multiple people within the business industry that certain things are a certain way, but y'all still fail to believe that. If Game Pass was so shitty, they wouldn't be consistently fucking buying up studios with the money they're earning from it, and or adding more content to it. And when all these gaming subscription services started, I think EA was the first one that did it. I remember saying, hell, I think I was on Crossfire when I said this. It's not going to be successful unless you get games in there. And when Microsoft finally did it, and they started putting games outside of just their own games, EA's done it, but it's only just their games, right? It's only EA games. They don't make a lot of games. Microsoft does it. They don't make a lot of games, but they figured out a way to get other people to buy into putting their games into their service.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I thought was going to be more beneficial for them versus them and Ubisoft and everybody else who's trying to do a gaming service like that with a game like that. So like, you got to have games in there for people to play, and it can't just be your own shit. You got to pull other shit in there too from other people. So Microsoft has been able to do that, and that's going to be the challenge. When they're talking about, I think Sony was talking about like trying to get into that market. And I think you mentioned it earlier too. Like they probably can't even get into digging their claws into it until like 2025. Something like that. Like there's a reason why, because they have to get people to buy into that, and that costs money. And I'm not saying Sony's broke, but they don't have the infrastructure for that yet. So to do it the way Microsoft's doing it, they don't have the servers, they don't have any of that shit, whereas Microsoft does. So that's why Ubisoft is putting stuff in there. That's why EA is putting stuff in there, and that's why they're able to put money and throw money down to get other companies and other gamers, game companies to put their game into Game Pass, because they found out a way to pay these people to do it. So, and if you want to say it's the backing of Microsoft, that's the backing of the cloud, the Azure servers. That's what happens when you have a subscription base, where you're consistently having money flowing into it, and not just like I think Sir X-Man said this earlier. Like you just don't have single player shit where it's just like you play it and you're done with it. You got money just flowing into those games and that service all the time. So, I just, those numbers are those numbers. That's what they are. And if you don't want to believe them, that's on you. But I mean, obviously Game Pass has been successful. I think it's very difficult for Sony to get into that market. Right now, the way they're constructed, the way they make their games, the way they operate their business. So that's always going to be a threat to them at this point. And so for them to say, it's with a 70% or some shit like that, like, yeah, that's a true statement. Like no one else has that service like that out there on a console. Like,
Well,
so
they point to Nintendo Online, which I believe has a catalog of games that you can play, but it is also a service that is necessary for you to play Nintendo games online as well, I believe.
yeah. And how many online games does Nintendo have?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, like 8.
Yeah.
So like,
Well, no,
you
I
said
mean,
like
yeah, they
8.
don't have. They're starting to get more, but their service is more for nostalgia. Like, I mean, they put a lot of old NES, now Sega stuff.
Mhm.
Plus, of
yeah,
course,
but
like you
here's
said,
the thing though. It's not online gaming. You're not actually playing online with a lot of people. You have to buy that service to buy those games,
right?
correct?
No, you're right.
That's
You're right.
it.
No,
Yeah.
you're right.
So
Yeah.
you're not sitting there playing with your friends. Like, you're just involved in that service to get those games out of it. So like, I mean, that's not fun. You can just buy those games outright. But like, that's how Nintendo gets people, because they don't make their games, back and pat like Xbox does. They
No.
make you subscribe to that service to play those games.
How many
That's the only
times
way
do
you're
they
gonna get-
want you to buy Super Mario Brothers 3? That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
Like, how many times?
Yeah, and that no shit. Like, I mean, we talked about this before. Like, that game, some of those old Nintendo games, like they need to make those multi-plat, because like I think it's like you ever watch like Indiana Jones. They're like, this shit belongs in the museum. Like, those games belong to be played on every console. Those old school Nintendo games, like, but they're gonna make their money off of that, and they're not gonna do that. They're never gonna do that. So they're gonna keep them on their console, and they're gonna milk those Nintendo players that want to play those games. Every fucking console that comes out, they're gonna milk them. They're gonna make you buy it over and over and over again, instead of saying, "Hey, you bought this with your subscription, or you paid for this before. You've already got it in your library. You can just re-download it." Nah, you got to buy that shit again when you get your next Nintendo Switch 2.0, because they're gonna come with some reason. Oh, well, we got a new format and they won't play on this, so now you got to spend another $70 for it. And yeah, it's bullshit. So that's how their online service works, and it's like you're not getting any value out of it. You're just buying older shit that you just can't buy. If they were just smart and just made the shit backwards and pat like Microsoft does. So, but
They
yeah,
don't even
I mean,
give
like,
you a discount.
yeah, they don't even give you like it's like a full price. I don't know what the price is. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're probably full price games. So to be honest with you, they're probably like $39 or some shit like that. I don't know. I don't have. So, but I mean, the 70%, that sounds about right. And the people that were saying like the 20, like, that's bullshit. Like, I mean, we know that's not true. Like, I mean, the numbers just off of sheer.
Yeah, but supposedly Zuby Tech is supposed to be such a grounded person, and yes, he's pro PlayStation, but he doesn't get into the fanboy console war kind of like rhetoric, and it's like, well, hold on, dude. And he was arguing. He was arguing with me in my tweet, like,
by that logic, Xbox Game Pass is a failure because it's regressed over the years, right? If you think about it that way, like, there's no fucking way that Microsoft, who's been selling consoles like crazy, has gone backwards with their online subscriptions.
And Xbox Live been here since the 2000s, so
yeah. So like, there's no fucking way. Like, just use some simple logic instead of being dumbasses out there.
And
like,
I did some more research too. I'll wait for you, Fred, though.
No. I mean, I'm done. I mean, like, it doesn't make any sense to people to even have that mindset. Like, you should have looked at that and be like, okay, these are not right. These numbers don't make any sense. Like, but because a pro PlayStation fan said it, you're gonna believe it. But like, if Sony comes out and says the same shit and it's against that logic, oh, you don't want to believe that shit, right? Even though it's coming from the company. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, they'll believe somebody. Yeah, they'll believe somebody who doesn't work for Sony.
Yeah,
more than they'll believe Sony
themselves. At the time when Reddit actually put out this report, it's 100 million subscribers, and at the time their count was 18 million of that is Game Pass subscribers. So Xbox actually has 100 subscriptions for Xbox Live included with that. And then you take out the 18 million, that's still considered Xbox Live. So that's a lot of damn subscribers that is not getting put out there. They only counted the Game Pass subscribers for
All right.
right now.
Well, Sir X-Man, check this out. Now, you heard 60 to 70% of the game subscription service. Even Sony says that's in Xbox's hands right now. I gotta ask you, are you surprised, like, when it comes down to it, that they grabbed so many people in the gaming industry, like, especially now, because you look at within this year, the end of last year, we got Halo Infinite, and we got Forza Horizon 5, and I would argue to say that Forza Horizon 5 has been consistently over the longer span of time more popular than Halo Infinite right now. But the first party hasn't even really started dropping like hardcore into Game Pass, and we have Sony already claiming like that Xbox has 60 to 70% of that space. Man, does that surprise you? What do you think about those numbers, bro?
They're scared and they're lying. That's what I said. Those facts are wrong. But that's how Sony gets over. They do lie about things that benefit them. They won't give you the true facts of the competition. If they feel that they can manipulate it to make them look better, that's been Sony since the Xbox 360, dude. When the original Xbox came out, they weren't really scared until the 360 came out with all the new innovations.
Yeah, and it came out a year earlier as well. That was a big thing too.
Right. Plus, it was cheaper than $600 goddamn
Hey,
dollars.
dude,
Go
you just
get
got
a
to get a second job.
second
That's all.
job.
Just got to get a second job.
You
bro.
know? So they still have never learned that lesson. You got over the top. You did a good thing, a good crazy ass thing to fuck Xbox in 2013. That was a good thing. It's a plan. It worked to your benefit. But now people are just starting not to fall for your bullshit anymore. And, and you brought all this on yourself. You got complacent. You didn't read the market right. You wanted to just be hardcore Sony. Even PC's starting to make you look bad. So that's pretty much all I had to say. I just wanted to throw them true facts out there so people know the damn truth. That's it.
You.
I'm done with that.
I got you,
I'm
bro.
done with
I got you. And I think to round it off, because we're getting close to we're after 10 o'clock right now. So just to round this off real quick, I'm just gonna ask, for a quick
It's not
answer.
10 o'clock for me
Why is it not 10 o'clock for you? What time zone are you in?
because we're in the
Because
central
he's in
time
God's
zone.
time. He's
You're
in
the
God's time.
See,
oddball.
I
You're the
thought
oddball.
I thought you were one
All
of those.
three of us.
I thought you were
Yep.
one of those big brain guys that do live by the Lord's time, which is Eastern. My bad, Sir X Man. I didn't know.
Nothing from the east.
I
has
didn't.
got you saying anything from the Lord.
Hey, when the day after tomorrow
39
come
minutes
first, you
time.
guys are gonna get frozen before we will.
Oh yeah, I do. I live like
Man,
a 5
that
minute.
will still be
Yo.
nice and warm, won't we?
Yo, Sir X Man, I live like 5 minutes away from the 5 minute walk from the beach. So if there's ever a
Oh.
tidal wave coming this way, dude, I'm
Oh
in
man, you should
serious
have
jeopardy.
some.
I'm in
You should have
serious
some
jeopardy.
beach hoochies just calling you.
Well, guys, just to kind of round this off real quick, I gotta ask. We discussed everything that Sony had basically said to the Brazilian, Federal Trade Commission. Shout out to them guys over in Brazil as well, because I think it's absolutely awesome to have everything that out in the open. I think that not I live in the United States. I think the United States can learn a couple things from that, and to kind of have everything out in the open that way. I do like that. It leads to some great conversation, even great debates and stuff like that. So shout out to the Brazilian FTC and kind of like what they do to put the information out there for anybody to see. But with that being said, I gotta ask you guys, at the end of the day, Sony said what they said. is this going to have any kind of like long-term effects for Sony? Is it going to hit them in a negative light when it comes to the consumer? You know, going from here moving forward. And you know, I ended with Sir X-Man. I'm going to start with you, Sir X-Man, on this one. So with everything that Sony has said about Call of Duty and the whole acquisition with Activision Blizzard and what they said about Game Pass, do you think this is gonna hurt them, or it is kind of like stain them moving forward?
No, not really. Sony always finds a way to squeak their way out of shit. But there's one thing that I'm proud of this with the Activision and Microsoft thing. It's an American company buying another American company. Because if this was a Japanese company, this shit would not be happening right now.
Hey, don't say
And
that.
so,
I'm still
and
hoping
Sony,
I'm still hoping Microsoft buys Sega.
but you know what I'm saying,
Yeah, no,
though.
I hear you,
That's
bro.
kind of hard. But I'm proud that it's an American company getting another American company to keep this company part of the USA. If Sony had to try to get Activation, United States wouldn't have stopped it. Like over there in Japan.
No,
So
no,
that's
definitely
the
different rules.
biggest thing I'm so proud of. You ended up getting a good company that represents the United States of America, that been there since the beginning of video games. And I'm so proud of Microsoft for doing this, because it could have got gobbled up by Tencent.
See, when you said American company buying American company, that's where my mind went, because Tencent, low key, Tencent is like trying to scoop up everything. All right. So yeah,
There they are.
I definitely agree with you on that
And they
point.
got more money than Sony. They could buy fucking Sony if they want to. They
Yeah,
actually could.
I don't know. I don't know about their finances, unfortunately, but I'm
Tencent
not
got
going to
money,
disagree.
You know
dude.
about that? That's a Japanese company.
No,
I mean, a
Chinese.
I'm
Chinese
going
company.
against
Yeah.
that's a Chinese
Yeah, going
company.
against a Chinese company. I don't know if that's going to
Chinese going
work.
against a Japanese company. I don't know, dude. Sometimes those two get along. Japanese,
No,
even though they can't
well,
stand each other.
okay. So, Sir X, yeah, I was going to say, Sir X, man, don't,
Now go ahead, Ken Baker.
because
Please.
they do not get along.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You better know that history, man. They don't get along. Man. There's a long history.
They're not friends. They're not.
They are not friends. They're not friends. The
But-
money is only what's keeping things stable.
But I do like I said, when you said that, Sir X Man, my mind went straight to Tencent, and yeah, that I'll definitely agree with, and it's so surprising to me. I know people fight the whole fake console war bullshit and stuff like that, but it is so amazing to me that Tencent is out here trying to scoop up everything, and nobody's out there with an issue with that. Yo, so like that's
what bothers me the most about Americans, even though for the Sony people, Americans had brought the first video game system to America.
America.
They brought the first video game system to America. And it's like, I know it's Japan, but you can't even support your own company, USA, without trashing them. It bothers me so much for so many years, dude. And y'all can't get behind this. You know, Microsoft and the other thing, you can support all consoles. There is nothing wrong with that. But why do you want to see an American company fail? It is the biggest thing that I hate in this world. I'm done, dude. Y'all go ahead and talk, please. I'm sorry.
Shout out to you, and I hope Uncle Sam, appreciates you when it comes to that. Like me personally, I never I don't. That's not usually on the top of my head. I'm not usually like, oh man, American company, oh man, Japanese company. But like I hear what you're saying, man, and hopefully Uncle Sam appreciates the patriotism that you are showing, brother, when it comes down to it.
Oh, don't worry. I hate a lot of shit in the U.S. I'm just saying support your American companies. That's it.
Yeah, and technically, Xbox 448 is an American company, so please Support the American company. Yo, shout out to Master Clown. First off, hitting up the super chat one more time again with no words for me to say, man. Just pure support. Thank you so much, brother. And then, not only that, but Master Clown has been a member of this channel for 16 months. Shout out to Master Clowns. He says, much love to the panel and the chat. He says, catching up on a year of shows and loving it all. Yo, shout out to you, brother, man. It is good to see you back here. You're back home, man. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you're back home with us on next podcast, man. So enjoy your time getting caught up. And yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, man. But let's get to K Mega on this. K Mega, you heard the question, man. All this talk by Sony is this going to leave like a bad taste in the gamers' mouths? Is this going to have a negative effect, kind of like in the long run when it comes to Sony, you know, in the industry moving forward?
Already has caused a negative effect.
But is it going to linger? Is it going to stay there? Kind of like.
Well, I mean, we're already looking at it. I mean, this year has been a weak year for Sony, and they have dropped legacy titles this year. And the only thing that's going to save them is going to be God of War. So, Ragnarok. I mean, because I don't really. I think that the game, you know, they'll brag about the numbers at the beginning because they'll have pre-orders and stuff like that. But I don't think that even The Last of Us is going to be a substantial like game changer or like just crazy console seller. God of War is going to be that game for them. But listen, man. I mean, it's like I said, it's already starting to happen because when you just read the comments from when you watch some of this stuff from PlayStation fans, the stands will say anything for, like Fred said, to just I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even understand how they could do that shit. Like, I mean,
Sony Defense Force, baby.
Yeah, I just don't understand it. Like, I don't even understand why they just keep on doing what they do. But but PlayStation fans they're upset. Like, they're not only upset because of the $70 price for the games, but they're upset for the fact that Sony doesn't look like but they're upset with the fact that Sony doesn't seem like they have that confidence of what made them attracted to PlayStation. I mean, because if you go back to the history of PlayStation, the one thing that everybody could throw their hat to was that Sony had this swag that no other company at that time when they first came out had. They made it feel like the console wasn't just only for kids; it was for young adults. And it made you feel like you was one of the cool people instead of kind of like how what gaming used to be like. You're just a nerd and you probably just read comic books, watch anime, and play video games, and you might get your ass beat. You know what I'm saying? So Sony brought gaming into the mainstream. But now when you look at today's Sony and then just reading these reports and then just the things that they're doing now, and especially when people are hurting all over the world, like, I mean, the economies in all over the world is getting hit. Some is affected by the war, others affected just by inflation. Even in China, the housing market is all jacked up. Like, there's a lot of places in the world that's just not in a good space right now. And then you got Sony not checking the temperature in the room and seeing like, damn, you know what I'm saying, man, did you see gas is $5 just you know what I'm saying, for the last
dude, gas by my house has finally gone below $4. Thank you.
That's what I'm saying. Shout out to Biden. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm reelected. I want to vote for your ass again. But anyway, but this is the thing. But that's what I'm saying. Like, gas prices, things like that. Food prices is up. Everything is damn near up, man. And so you're over here trying to still nickel and dime your fan base by taking for $10. That's not cool. And then for people that has a PlayStation 4 and that wants to upgrade, it's hard to try to find the $400 console, the unicorn as we call it. And then so people are forced to buy the $500 one. But then on top of that, you're wanting to charge them $10 extra for them for a game that they bought for $60 to show support on their old console to do this. Like, what? Like it's just, And then you look at the competition of what they're doing by doing Game Pass. And then you see, well, Sony was like, okay, well, let's try to do this. And then you hear people talking about the competition, talking about game rewards, and that they're playing they're playing enough games to where they don't even have to buy the certain particular game or games that out of their own pocket. They could just play enough games to earn money. So now Sony is over here like saying, well, let's do this now. And I'm looking and reading comments of saying, why Sony didn't do this shit in the beginning? Like, you've been here before Xbox. So it is starting to it's starting to hit a lot of people out there in a way, because I think and it started off with The Last of Us. The Last of Us really kind of changed the temperature in the room. People did some shouting a little bit about the $70 games, but then people was like, oh, well, quality over quantity. We know that PlayStation is going to give out a better product than the competition when it comes to these single player type of experiences. But now they're looking at the remasters, and they're like, man, I've already played this game. I love this game, but why $70? You know what I'm saying? So what was you going to say about it?
No, I was going to say, Mega. You know what the funny thing is? Like, when this generation started, and I know you were in the same boat with me, because people were like, yeah, people they're not gonna leave their library. The library's coming with them. So people who have PS4 are gonna get a PS5, this and that. But everything you pointed out, $10 more for games. I think it all started pretty much at the reveal of the system. Of course, for people who care about it, the PS5 is absolutely huge. The look of it is, you either love it or you hate it. There's not a lot of in between when it comes to the design. Whereas you look at what was going on with Xbox, and they made a minimalist kind of like looking machine. Again, people thought we were crazy, but we said, yo, you don't just automatically stay at the top of the mountain. Like, you got to adjust, you got to adapt. And
Right.
What we're seeing here, this is what I think. I think we've been seeing Xbox just gain mind share. And now I think it's to the point where it's not absolutely popular just to automatically say, well, yeah, PlayStation got this in the bag, and whatever PlayStation says goes. Like,
right.
The community is now saying, hey, hold up, what are you talking about? No, I want this. Now, why are you making a remake, but you're still charging me $70, but you're taking out the multiplayer? Now, more of the community is asking these questions and not automatically saying yes to Sony.
No, like, because look, Sony has sit there and tried to do shit at the wrong times. Like, they started all this stuff. They was trying to do certain stuff and raise prices and do all these other things during the pandemic. Like, people ain't even working. What are you doing? Like, what? Come on now. And then it's like the launch of the PlayStation. That was an absolute disgusting situation. You know what I'm saying? And then, I mean, Xbox got hit over the head as well. But then the chip situation as well. Like, people were, the stands were trying to say, well, Xbox paid for that. Well, Sony has money too. Sony's not broke. Sony could have paid to make sure that they got the chip situation.
I thought that was called It's Business. The same with Final Fantasy and stuff like that. It's business, bro.
Right. But I mean, more and more people are finding, what I'm saying? We're seeing PlayStation 5s in the stores now, which is a great thing for PlayStation gamers, for all gamers out there. But it's more of the thing for me is that Sony is now being questioned by their own fan base. When last generation, they could do no wrong, no matter how much that we seen it, people would say, oh, well, you're just Xbox and y'all just mad because y'all in last place. Now people are starting to see this like, man, come on now. Now y'all really tripping. But I think this is what broke the straw that broke the camel's back, and is going to proceed to going to a position where PlayStation is more vulnerable than we've seen them in a very long time, because of the fact that they showed weakness to the competition. And like I said, I mean, I've been watching all different types of videos on this type of stuff. About the FTC stuff and all of this, and when you see those PlayStation fans mention that is like the number one thing that they're talking about, is like, why PlayStation even had to say that? Like, they can make a COD if they want to. Look at and they start naming the devs and all that. That means something to them, and because Sony gave the impression that those devs could make anything that they want to because they're that talented, and Sony just kind of shut that
Yeah,
shit down,
because
just like
hey,
so
Mega, you're right.
by
Because
trying to be slick.
Sony fans have been telling them for years we want exclusive multiplayer games, and what have they done? Kicked them to the curb and didn't pay them no attention, and it's
damn.
coming up to bite them in the fucking ass.
Well, I mean, it's definitely the chicken's coming home to roost because especially if if this happens, which this will happen with the deal, but if Sony keeps on trying to be aggressive on trying to press gamers on trying to nickel and dime them, people are just going to just go to the next console. That you know what I'm saying? Then it might, or it doesn't even have to be Xbox. It could be Nintendo or it could be PC. Since now games are going over to their PlayStation games are going to PC. So you just I don't know, man. This is just to me. I've said this before, and a lot of people think I'm crazy as hell. But you can only be on top for so long before you slip up too many times, and then that's it. I mean, I'm not saying that you still can't be relevant, but you just ain't gonna be on the top.
They'll
So,
still force their players to buy a second console. That's what's going to happen.
well, I mean, this VR, if this VR is rumored to be $500, I
I
mean,
saw
what the heck?
that.
Yeah, and then if they're going to make a PlayStation Pro too, then I mean, like shit, man. I mean, like you know what I'm saying. How much money do you think
I
these
don't
people are
think
going
we
to?
need. I don't think we need pro systems this generation. Last
Well,
generation we needed them.
It's
Like
a
I don't
Sony.
want it.
It's a Sony tradition to do that shit.
Well, I
That's
think
even
that there'll
back
be a
then.
pro.
It
I think that
started
there'll be a
last
pro.
generation, dude.
I think that there'll be a pro version of the S. And you know what I'm saying, and from indications from people from sources out there, like I know, I don't know if the sources are reliable or not on that end, but for for the most part, they've been legit on what they've said. So it's like, yeah, they're going to make a pro system. So I don't know. The Xbox Series X, I don't think it should. I think that this has enough juice in the box to make it go. But I can see the S getting a pro version at some point. But PlayStation, I don't know. Maybe they're a little nervous about that overclocking thing over time. With the consoles, and they feel like maybe we could try to get ahead of that if consoles start bricking or something. I don't know, but
I just want the S to have a disk drive, K-Mega. That's all. You put a disk drive in the S. Oh my God, that would be like fucking awesome.
that could be part of the pro package. I mean, did you also hear that they said that they're going to add more power by reducing the memory from the S?
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
Yes.
I posted that before the show. So anyway,
I didn't see it. I'll definitely have to check it out. And I also didn't see Darkest Hour said something about Square
You got a super chat.
Square tweeted about Xbox, and I didn't see that either.
No, I didn't see that either.
20-year or so part.
Oh yeah, no. I did see that. And yeah, the Xbox gamers were roasting because there was somebody that I was having a conversation with, and they posted a list of all the games that they don't have.
Shit!
On the system. So yeah. No, so,
ooh,
yeah.
That is rough. I do
rough.
not see a super chat. Let me double check here because I want to make sure I got everybody. Let's see.
Yeah, I sent one.
Yes. Mr. Sir X-Man is back at it again.
Oh Lord.
Yo, shout out to my man, Sir X-Man. He put in all caps, "Buy American." Yo, thank you for the support, brother. Definitely, yeah, that's what it needed at the end of that, by the way. Yeah. I really can't. I don't have it in me. But let's get to Predator on this one. Now, Pred, again, with everything that's been said, Sony.
I thought Pred went first. Oh damn.
No,
Sir X-Man
didn't
talk.
See, I'm on top of it tonight, bro. I'm on top of it.
He didn't skip me tonight. Look at that.
Look at that.
My bad, Pred.
All
I
night.
would have shut up a long
Hey,
time
he
ago.
came close, Pred. He came close to forgetting about you.
I thought he was.
Don't you dare spread those lousy rumors. Nah, Pred. So, what do you think? Everything that Sony has said to the FTC about Game Pass, about the acquisition, do you think this is going to have any kind of like long-term effects when it comes to Sony?
From what they said, or just the context of it, I'll say it that way. in the context of what they're thinking, yes. But I don't think the effects will happen like immediately, if that makes any sense. Like we kind of were talking before the show, and I was talking about like how the perfect time for Microsoft to drop all their fucking bombs is this next time Sony decides to drop something like a new console or something like that, or their next game is like they can just flood the market with hit after hit after hit. You know what I'm saying? So like they got this shit in the pipeline already. Because you look at what Microsoft has coming down in the next 2 or 3 years, it's a lot of shit, and they have enough to space things out for a good bit of time, and that's not even including what they can pull from third party and or get it thrown in Game Pass. This is just first party shit, right? So they've got this shit for the next 3 or 4 years on lock, I would say. And we talked about this before. Sony can't keep up with that volume. It isn't that they can't make great games; they just can't keep up with the volume of games that Microsoft's going to put out, and that's going to be their issue. They can come out with another. I mean, you have to think about all their major franchises. They've released them. They're going to come out with another Spider-Man, and then when's the next God of War going to come out? When's the next Horizon going to come out? And that didn't do very well this year. When's the next? You got to look at the games they've come out with that they thought. When's the next Ghost of Tsushima going to come out? Because that's probably going to be their next big hit. Their big hit that people are going to look forward to, right? After God of War, Ragnarok, right? Because the games, and I'm sure they got some other shit hidden that we don't know about. They might come out with, God forbid, they come out with a multiplayer military shooter that they've got sitting in their fucking back pocket they haven't used forever that people have been asking for, right? God forbid they come out with that in the next 2 or 3 years. That would help. But like for the franchises that we know that they're pushing, the Spider-Mans, the God of Wars, the shit, and maybe another Returnal if they really want to. But like, I don't know. It's like I don't know what they have coming down the pipe long term that's going to keep people interested in, other than maybe some VR for a little bit, might keep some people intrigued for a little while. They're into that. But at a $500, if that's the truth, $500 after getting a console that just costs $500, it's that some people still can't find. It's going to be very hard for any consumer right now to think about that if they don't have enough things to back it up, because they didn't really support VR after they came out with it on the PlayStation 4, right? Other people did, but they really kind of fell off the wayside to it. So I don't know. I wouldn't say it's going to hurt them initially, but I think long term it's gonna affect them. And I think we were talking earlier when I was listening to you guys kind of go back and forth. Microsoft gained mindshare when they started putting games on, when they started winning the PC gamers. That's when they won mindshare, because like you got your games on both consoles. You got it on not both consoles. You got it on the Xbox and you got it on PC, and that helped a lot of the PC gamers get into, because they were getting their games on PC through Game Pass at least day and date. And if they didn't want to get Game Pass, they were still able to purchase those games
On Steam.
on Steam, and that's what sold it. They got mindshare from the PC gamers, because the PC gamers were completely against getting an Xbox, or even fucking dealing with Xbox at the time. And now they're like, okay, this Game Pass thing is actually pretty decent.
Yep.
I get all this shit in Game Pass, and I don't, this subscription service. And like, once they brought Xbox Game Pass PC to PC, I think a lot of those people kind of thought like, oh shit, let me try it out for a month. Let me get that free sample. And they got it, and they're like, okay. And they started missing it, and they're like, okay, I'm about to go back and get this shit, because I'm already subscribed to other bullshit. Let me go and throw this $9 a month into this shit, $15 a month, I think it is now, into Xbox Game Pass PC, and they're loving it. And they started looking at Microsoft differently than they did before, because they're using Windows already. They're using Office.
A lot of
and
them went and bought an S just so they can play. Yeah,
you can play on, and then they got their Steam Decks now. I mean, like, so yeah. I mean, like, I think they kind of started winning that mind share, and it wasn't getting mind share from the PlayStation people and getting them convert over. I think they converted of PC gamers over to just the Xbox ecosystem. Maybe they didn't even buy a fucking console. Maybe it's got Game Pass, and that's what did it for them. So I think the damage is pretty much done already. I mean, I think, but with Sony not necessarily throwing the flag out and calling defeat, they're never going to do that. But you start hearing more and more talk like this, over the next, especially, like I said, when those games start rolling out next year, and they start just dropping every fucking month a fucking AAA game, because that's what's going to end up happening. They might not want to do it at first, but you got to think Microsoft is going to drop. I wouldn't say every month. I'll say like every 6 weeks. I'll give them every 6 weeks. They're going to probably drop a AAA game every 6 weeks, starting in 2022.
Well, I know their goal is like 4 to 5 every year. So like one AAA per quarter.
And even though, I'd say AAA, and then maybe a couple of little nuggets in there that aren't really AAA, but they're still like fun games. People are they're gonna drop a game in Game Pass. I'll put it that way. That's gonna be relevant every 6 fucking weeks. Mark my fucking word. And people are gonna be like, okay, Forza, okay, God of War, okay, Halo, okay, DLC, okay, shit, another game. Fuck, I didn't finish this last game. And next thing you know, your backlog is so fucking big. Because now you got these other AAA franchises, these other first-party franchises dropping games too, right? And it's just going to become overwhelming with how much shit they're going to be having in Game Pass. And then you have to start thinking, like, Microsoft's going to be like, we need to pull back a little bit. They're going to hammer, they're going to beat Sony's ass into the ground with games. They're just going to just flood the market. This game, every 6 weeks. And then they'll take a break when a good fucking, game day market comes out. Like shit, I can't think of one right now off the top of my head because I don't know who they need to market at this point. But like, okay, let's say Ubisoft comes out with another fucking Ghost Recon, or fucking, I don't know, EA comes out with a actual real fucking Battlefield. They'll say, okay, we'll take a seat for a little bit and let you guys do this month. Y'all do this month, and we'll take next month. Maybe we'll put DLC out this month so you guys can market your game.
That Battlefield will be in Game Pass,
and it might be in Game Pass too. So, like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, even if they don't have a game, they will probably still have it in Game Pass day and date. Or at least like a 10-hour fucking trial or something like that. They've done something that most people aren't thinking about. They're going to eventually make themselves relevant every fucking month with something new. And that's never happened before.
It's like digital killed GameStop.
So like, and it's going to be, and when it happens, in fucking screenshot this, fucking timestamp it. When that shit happens, that's when you're going to see what's going to happen with Sony. That's when we'll find out what Sony's going to do. They're either going to have to play ball and adjust status and start being like, okay, maybe we need to do something different.
Or put our games in the same damn day they come out in our service.
That's when they're going to be like, we need to put these games on PC day and date. That's going to be the moment they do it. When they realize they can't compete. They're going to have to start getting that revenue ASAP, because they can't sit here and wait 2 years after a game releases and keep nickel and diming their fucking customer fan base, because they're going to Sony. I'm telling you, the Sony fan base is going to get frustrated at some point when these games start coming out on Xbox and they're still playing last generation games that have just been upgraded. Again.
Remaster.
Oh, a collector's edition. Or not a collector's. What do they call it now? The director's cut. Yeah. Director's cut of Ghost of Tsushima, or
and it'll cost you $150.
Yeah, it's gonna
wow.
$150, but it's gonna cost. Yeah, it's gonna come with all the DLC that you probably already bought already, but now it's gonna be in 8K. So like, I mean, and like at some point, like you get tired of playing. Like, this is how y'all know how I am. I don't like playing the same game over and over again. I'm gonna beat it once. I'm done with it. I might come back and dabble with it a little bit, but I'm not gonna sit there and fucking run through the whole shit again. Like, I'm gonna play it. It maybe sometimes I might just throw it in the trash.
With your friends, But
but I'm not gonna sit there and just fucking keep playing that shit. Oh, it's especially a single player game. Fuck no. I can count on one fucking hand how many single player games I've played more than once. Ori is the first one that comes to my fucking head that I've actually beat through and through again. That's it that I can think of right now. But like outside of that, nope. and I know those PlayStation fan bases, they're gonna get tired of that shit at some point when they start seeing Avowed, Fable, Call of Duty, fucking pick one. I mean, like shit, y'all can come up with all of them off the top of your head right now. Those games are gonna start dropping, and these guys are still gonna be playing God of War Ragnarok remastered edition.
I mean, that sounds like a definite possibility, bro. And yeah, man, like all like the first party and stuff was supposed to really start, end of last year into this year. All right, and unfortunately, delays happen, right? But we had two big games, Starfield, Redfall, that got delayed into next year. But then we had those kind of like timed exclusives in going into Game Pass when it comes to Stalker 2. I'm still looking forward to Atomic Heart. I'm hoping that game still releases this year. I'm really excited about that. But yeah, dude, I can see everything you are saying right now, Fred.
And don't let them make Starfield multiplayer 6 months after it comes out. There's a
I'm
rumor
sure it'll
about
have
that.
some. I'm sure it'll have some multiplayer into it.
Oh yeah, that would be a big hit for Sony if the biggest IP that we
For
got
Sony.
coming out comes out
Starfield?
with a
knock against
multiplayer.
it, yeah.
Yeah, that would be
I
a
know
big
he meant.
knock.
Yeah, I know what he
That-
meant to say.
Thank you, Pred.
Thank you, Pred. Pred gets me. Pred
Pred
gets me.
understands.
But guys, on that note, we are after 10:30. It is about time to wrap it up. Shout out to the love chat again, who is very, very determined right now, and I am putting them again in timeout. Very determined to get you guys to find some love. But no, shout out to the chat. You guys have been absolutely insane.
I didn't even see that.
I didn't see it. I'm not sitting by my computer.
They're just trying to spread that love. You know what I'm saying? It's what they're trying to do.
They want Pred. That's what it is. They want Predator.
See, Pred,
Follow my OnlyFans love chat. There you go.
Yeah.
Show that same dedication over there.
Oh man, but
Send you my Cash App.
but shout out to the chat. Shout out to Master Clown. The return of Master Clown tonight. It has been an absolutely insane night. The chat has been absolute fire. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, supporting the show. We are one of the longest running podcasts in this gaming community, and it is always good to see you guys in here every Thursday. But on that note, like a 40-year-old with a comb over, it is time to get those plugs in. And you know what? Let's start with the man who had who was 2 weeks removed from major surgery and who did an entire show for you guys. It is the OG himself, Sir X-Man. Sir X-Man, dude, what do you want to let the people know about? And dude, it's been a lot of fun, man. It's good to having you back, yo. Yep, that's exactly what he wants to talk about too. But you can't do that right now. You got to recuperate.
Hey, Mega, you so nasty.
You got to recuperate,
so
Sir
nasty,
X-Man.
man.
He's pulling his cock out.
Oh no.
Right now, doctors say I gotta keep my cock in, the motherfucker.
Oh,
Oh.
that's what she said.
You sucking it in?
Oh,
No, never that, bro. But thank everybody for being here. I had a good time. I love the that everybody supports for the show, for me, K Mega and Pred. And just keep it going.
Yeah,
Every
and
time we have a
fuck
show,
X-Spot right
everybody, yeah, you just you, dude. They know it's your show.
there.
And the Xbox 448, but we all appreciate you. And when y'all come to the show again, share this out. Let's get some more fans up in here. Because he actually does, and us, we try to put on a good show for you and give you some facts that might surprise you. So help us out, and we're gonna keep entertaining you. We'd appreciate that. Thank you very much. That's it.
Yo, nice, brother. And K Mega, you got me wanting to play Riders Republic. I want to let you know that right now.
Game
man.
is a blast.
Dude, I love the
Yeah.
switch, like just the instant switch into something else.
Saw
Like,
that.
you have
That
to
was
Oh
tight.
yeah, those are some of the longer races, and then like you can get into the online races where it's like, I think it's like 50 to 100 people, 50 to well,
Damn.
it's 50 to like 80 people. It's a lot of people.
Jesus
I can't remember, and,
Christ.
and it's like you're just doing this long ass race,
Dude,
and
you
it
got
is
something
crazy.
in common with Christopher Hart. He loves this game as well, man. And he's got
Yeah,
this
but
big
he's
this
on
big wiggly
PlayStation.
he's got this big wiggly like pony head that he wears. Like it's kind of crazy, man. I don't
Does
know.
that have crossplay between PlayStation and Xbox?
I
Rebecca?
do not think so. No, I do
It
not
should,
think so.
man.
No.
That screams crossplay right there. But
Yeah, it does.
yo, Mega, you got a huge day tomorrow, man. We got GRG. What's going on with the show? What's going on with your channel and streaming, all that good stuff, man?
Yeah, no. Was planning? I might. I don't know. I might do some streaming tonight. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we want to get.
I
if
still
can get
need people
Yobi
to help
and
me
Yobi.
with Halo. I'm kind of in a good mood. My health is getting better. I really would like to
Dude,
try
you
the
are sounding
story.
better, brother. You are definitely sounding better.
It's sounding better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I might do some streaming tonight. Might not. But I will definitely do some streaming tomorrow after GRG. You know what I'm saying? Finally got no plans to do anything tomorrow, so except for doing the podcast. So I'm looking forward to doing the streaming because I enjoy doing the streaming stuff. But yeah, no, you know what I'm saying? Supposed to have some guests popping on, and it should be a fun time. You know what I'm saying? So come and check out GRG tomorrow night. And man, Fight Night Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Was playing the multiverse all night. So, but I'll be doing some Demon
Is it
Slayer.
good, bro? Is it good?
It is fun. Yeah,
I heard the
like
movement.
it's my
The
Bridgeway.
movement is rough, man. That's what I heard. I haven't played it
No,
yet.
the movement is it's perfect. I mean,
Just gotta practice it.
It's flow. Yeah, you kind of lose yourself sometimes because it's kind of fast flowing, and you got to know how to you do the do your dodging and
There's
learn
a
how
lot
to
of
adjust
commands
your
in that
character.
game. Yeah.
Well, it's just a lot. It's not.
It's fun. I like it though.
But yeah, but it's a fun game though. It's a fun game, and if it gives me and it's the bridge to make me understand how to play Smash Brothers better, then I'm all for it because me and Yobi is disrespecting me for the last time, and so I think I'm going to be doing some Smash Brothers this Sunday night. And when he gets off work, and so we'll go ahead and do that. We'll be playing Demon Slayer. That'll be the first game that I'll hop in, and then if Yobi's busy, he can't come in or whatever.
Why don't you wrap this outro out up already so we go to bed?
I mean, you ain't getting no ass tonight.
Oh,
You're not getting no ass tonight. So ain't nobody gonna listen to your corny ass outro where you just gonna say good night.
He got that new thing waiting for him, King Mega. That's what he got that new thing waiting for him.
Man, you don't know what I just put. You don't know what kind of text message I've been sending while he's running your mouth.
Oh my god.
He needs some milk.
Oh my god, this man over here. Anyway, come check out the GRG podcast. Check out my streams on my channel. Thank you guys for helping my channel grow. You know what I'm saying? It's over 4,000, and so 5,000.
Nice.
Oh shit,
that is nice.
Oh shit, I got a call to any subscribers here. You guys got to bring more people to the channel because we cannot let him do this. We cannot let him do this.
There's some other people I'm going to be catching because once you get to that 5,000, you start rolling. So let's go.
You need to put yourself out there more, dude. One show a week. You know what I'm saying? You got to get out there, bro.
But I'm getting close. My YouTube channel is saying this to your YouTube channel.
I can smell you.
So.
Yo, that was creepy. That sounded like somebody.
What was that?
Somebody on the panel, like somebody got into the Discord. I was like, "Yo, that was creepy as fuck." Right?
You better get some better deodorant, dude.
Oh shit! So yeah. Okay, Pred, you can go ahead. Let's go ahead.
All right. Yeah, what's up, Pred? What you get? Really? That's what you got?
All right.
Hey man, I popped the Viagra. I'm ready to go.
All right.
Let me suck them titties, baby.
You guys, on that note, this has been the next podcast coming to you live every Thursday, 8 p.m.
Man.
You gotta get one that say, "Let me smash them ass cheeks, baby."
Wow.
God,
Guys, thank you again so much for the support. and hopefully we will see you here next Thursday for the next podcast. Have a great night, everybody.
You're
Later.
ugly. You're disgusting. I'm going to kill you. Give me $200.
Smoke in the air, pure gasoline. I see the news, see what you read. Change gotta come, put that on me and watch me educate. Yeah, we been could've started, but it's never late. Do it for my kids, yeah, let's set it straight. Do it for your kids, gotta set it straight. It's time to regulate. We need change now. We need solar, we need EV in the game now. Make it change so the earth we know can stay around. Make it change